It is Felipe Sparks and Kevin Galbraith for Arizona State, and Robbie Keane will kick it away for the Golden Bears of California. This Pac-10 Game of the Week kickoff is brought to you by Coors Light, the one that won't slow you down. The Silver Bullet is the right beer now. Here's the whistle, and he lets it go, and we're underway here from Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. Felipe Sparks, 2 yards deep, and he's coming out. Oh, is he lassoed at the 32 and dropped there? What a shot by David Wilson. Oh, here comes Arizona State's offense, led, of course, by the sophomore from Fresno, California, Kurt Leisher. And he has certainly not had the best of things since his brief stint as starting quarterback last week against Washington. Very, very tough. And the backs and receivers, Kelvin Fisher, he will play 2 positions today. And Mark Hayes, the outstanding left tackle from San Diego, is the guy they'll be running behind. That is Leonard Russell. Russell, the junior tailback from Long Beach, California, at the junior college at Mount San Antonio College. Well, defensively for California, Joel Dixon is the guy that they feel that has to get the job done up front, while the linebacking core, Castle Redmond, 4th in the conference with just over 11 tackles a game, and that defensive secondary is keyed by a very, very quick left corner in John Hardy. It is 2nd down and 9 from the I formation. Here come the Sun Devils, and once again it is Russell coming through the right side, and he goes across the 40-yard line and is down there by Ron English. Leonard Russell, so far on the year, averaging just under 4 yards a carry, only 1 touchdown. That is a bit surprising.
Well, you know, he was alternating time earlier with 3 tailbacks right there. Excellent blocking for him off the right side of the line. But they expect him to really be a real impact player as far as their offense is concerned, much along the lines of Russell White of Cal.
3rd down and about a foot to go. Boy, not a cloud in the sky here in Tempe, a suburb of Phoenix, Arizona.
It is perfect weather. I don't care if they say it's a little bit hot. It's not really that hot. It will be cooling as the game goes along.
Eric Gulliford goes wide to the left. Keep his name in mind. He is number 12. He will play a factor in this ballgame from the I on 3rd down and about the length of the football. First man through, it is Kelvin Fisher. And I believe his surge got the first down for Arizona State. As I said a moment ago, expect to see Kelvin Fisher at both the fullback spot and at tailback when he spells Leonard Russell.
Actually, he has played some tailback in the past in some of his earlier days. He's kind of a tweener type running back at 209 pounds, 5'11", but he's got good explosiveness when he hits in there.
Kevin Snyder goes wide to the left. Eric Gulliford splits wide right. That is Kurt Leisher, the sophomore from Fresno. The pitch goes to the deep man. That is Leonard Russell. He's still on his feet. Clears the 50-yard line and is down at the California 46, and flags are flying.
Probably got a face mask out of that one, but there's a perfect example of Leonard Russell hitting in off the left tackle. Not too much there, and his ability to stay on his feet, terrific balance, working to the outside. See right at the tail end, first bouncing out, gets 1 hit, breaks that tackle, gets another hit, breaks that tackle. Now he's trying to lower the shoulder just a little bit, and of course you see the arm come out there, and you get the hook by Darrell Brown to grab him by that face mask and bulldog him down. He's in the right country for that.
Well, Darrell Brown was not expecting to start until Ray Sanders went down.
15-yard face mask against the defense, 1st and 10.
Officials are ruling it an intentional face mask, or not incidental is the way I prefer to explain it. It is a 1st and 10 now for Arizona State, their first drive of the day at the 31-yard line of California. Again, it is Russell. He tries to get the football inside the 30, down near the 29. But expect both Arizona State and California to run the football all afternoon. John Belli, the nose guard, he's still suffering from a banged-up foot. He was in on the tackle.
Well, here's a perfect example example that we're looking at in terms of the Arizona State game plan, where they're going at California, who has been hurt by the run thus far this season. They have stiffened up on 3rd and 4th downs, but right now they're getting it taken to them.
2nd down, called at 8. The ball nosing at the 29. Play action. Leisure with his first attempt of the afternoon. Little underneath thing to the 25-yard line. Still grabbed by the ankle is Kelvin Fisher, and he won't get much more. Ron English had him by the ankle and simply would not turn him loose. A gain of about 5 to the Bear 25.
Good call for Kurt Lasher in this instance as he gets play action fake and then comes to the outside. Fisher slips out into the flat just underneath him. A little short toss gives him a lot of confidence. They don't pick up too many yards out of it, but it gets him away from the pass rush equally as well.
Now on 3rd down and 4, California goes to their nickel package. Arizona State out of the eye. The up back is Fisher. Russell is the tailback. Trying to come near side and just unloads the football, and a smart move by the sophomore. He was under intense pressure, didn't have any time at all to look for anybody with Dwayne Odom in his face, and simply unloaded the football, and he put it far out of bounds.
Yeah, he didn't take any chances. I really like to see that in a quarterback, whether it's a young guy or a veteran player. I don't see any reason why he shouldn't just, when there's nothing there, put that ball up in the bleachers. It's just a waste down, and you go for the next play.
From 33 yards away, here is Mike Ritchie. He has been outstanding this year. 6 of 7 on the 1990 season. Good spot. He got his leg into it. Is it on line? No. Only his 2nd miss of the year. Only his 2nd miss of his short 2-year career here in Sun Devil country. So California has dodged the first bullet of the afternoon. The clock stops with 11:51 to play in the opening quarter. We're scoreless from Tempe. Minutes here from Tempe, Arizona, as California gets their first look at the football, and controlling things for the Golden Bears, it'll be Mike Pawlowski, the quarterback. He has hit just over 58% of his passes this year as Pawlowski brings the Bears to the line for the first time on the afternoon. Zomo and Wallace are the running backs. Coming to the near side, it is Anthony Wallace. He turns the corner and scampers out of bounds at about the 26, a gain of 1. It'll be 2nd and 9. Brian Hooks ran him out. Now Pawlowski will quarterback things. Anthony Wallace, an outstanding tailback, as is Russell. He will also be expecting a lot of things from Greg Zomal today, the fullback. The offensive line, it is Steve Gordon, sensational center, one of the finest in the Pac-10. On 2nd down and 9. Draw play. Again, it is Anthony Wallace, trips up on his own interference and tumbles down at the 29. David Tisdale, a true high school freshman from Terrell, Texas, on the stop. Now defensively for Arizona State, it too, like the offense, a banged-up unit. Tim Landers, he is the number 3 nose guard on the depth chart, and he is starting today. Scott Woodford is an outstanding inside linebacker. Anchoring that secondary is Nathan Ledoux. Boy, what an outstanding defensive backfield Arizona State has had in recent years. That is Wallace. Out across the 32 and spun down, shy of the first down. Michael Williams, strong safety, moved up very, very well. And Williams pressed into the lineup with the loss of Floyd Fields, their 4-year starter. And Williams doing a nice job of sniffing that out. And the Bears are going to have to kick it away. Eric Gulliford for Arizona State standing at his own 28-yard line. Robbie Keane will let it go.
10-man rush, and they have blocked some kicks. They're very good at it.
High snap. Almost blocked. Fair catch by Gulliford. He's got it at the 24. Boy, you nearly called that one, Don Heinrich. Keane just about got that one nailed. A 38-yard punt. No return whatsoever. Well, I talked at the outset of our telecast how important this game was to both the Sun Devils and to the Bears of California. You take a look, both California and Arizona State have the one loss. 2 losses would just about put the loser of this game out of any chance at a shot at Pasadena come New Year's Day, Don, realistically speaking.
Well, you're absolutely right, and I think it's only been like once or twice in the conference that a team with 2 losses has managed to win the title.
First down from the 24. The pitch goes to Leonard Russell as he comes around the right side. Still on his feet across the 30-yard line and down at the 32 by Castle Redmond. There is Leonard Russell, the junior from Long Beach, California. I'll tell you, Larry Marmie thinks every bit as much of Leonard Russell as Bruce Snyder does of his twin tailbacks, Anthony Wallace and Russell White.
It's a little bit misleading. He's averaging just under 4 yards a carry, but he's actually a bigger threat than that when he gets his hands on the ball.
Gulliford and Snyder split wide to the left. The give right up the middle across the 45-yard line, and down at the 47 is Kelvin Fisher. Cornell Collier on the tackle.
Well, rather interesting. Bob Robertson, who is really one of the starting guards because of all the injuries at center, has played virtually none in that spot. He is in there against John Belli and a pretty solid Cal defensive unit, at least a veteran unit. And right now, Arizona State is taking it to him.
First down, Arizona State. The ball at the 49. Again, it is Russell. He's across the midfield stripe, still on his feet at the 47 and pushed down there. Ron English, the strong safety, moves up to put the hit on Leonard Russell.
A couple things that are happening to Cal defensively at this point. One, on the inside plays, tackle to tackle, they're getting beat as they're slanting, trying to get to the gap, so they're opening holes in that area. When they go wide, they're not making forces very quickly. They're getting taken down, getting outflanked a little bit, so that Arizona State's having some success on the outside.
Leonard Russell grabbed in the backfield by Joel Dixon. Now, Dixon still a bit rusty. He missed virtually all of the last 2 years with injuries. Got a couple of sacks and 5 tackles for losses so far this year.
Well, that's one of the first plays. As you can see right there, he steps inside of the offensive blocker and gets penetration. That's what they're going to have to do, Joel Dixon and the rest of the defensive linemen, is get that penetration, get those plays torn up before they get a chance to get started.
Joel Dixon looks like Mr. T without the mohawk. Down and 9.
Doesn't have the gold though.
California with 6 defensive backs going for the sideline pattern. It is in and out of the hands of Eric Gulliford. Good coverage by Chris Cannon. He's the backup corner on the right side.
Well, right there, Kurt Lasher was throwing into a zone coverage. The corner was up, the safety back as they rotated. Pretty good adjustment on his part to try and hit it between the two of them. Unfortunately, a little too tall.
Brad Williams to punt it away. He is number 2 in the Pac-10, number 4 in the nation. There's an end over end, almost looks like a kickoff. Signaling for the fair catch at the 8-yard line is Brian Trags, and that is where the Bears will put it in play. That stops the clock. The score, we are scoreless from Tempe. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week. Here between California and the Arizona State Sun Devils. Other Pac-10 scores underway. Washington all over Bill Musgrave and company in the 3rd period at Husky Stadium, 38-17, and it is SC over Stanford, 34-22, late in the 3rd period. Southern California really begun to come on, and as Anthony Wallace is out across the 22-yard line. Southern Cal, I'll tell you what, after that loss to Washington, Don, we did that game at Husky Stadium. They went into Columbus and soundly beat a Buckeye team.
Well, they've gone back to the running game, essentially, and this is what you're seeing right here, the running game. You've noticed 2 big white jerseys pulling coming this way, trap, kick out, big hole in there, and big yardage.
First down out to the 21. Lasky, right over the middle. The pass in and out of the arms of Brent Woodall, the tight end, and Brett Wellerstadt was all over him. Woodall at tight end is really the 3rd tight end for California this year. They've had injuries to Anthony Grandison and to Chris Carpenter out with a concussion last week, and they are depleted at the tight end spot.
Yeah, and rather an interesting call, too, because they just picked up virtually 10 yards on a running play, and then they turn around and throw when they're backed up.
Wallace tries to pick a spot, and he's got 6 maroon and gold jerseys all over him. Led by the charge of the inside linebacker, Brett Wellerstadt.
Terrific pursuit by the Arizona State defense. And I'll tell you, if they're going to keep that up, and quite frankly, maybe not this series, if they don't pick up the first down here, watch the defensive line take off. They're slanting a little bit that way, but watch all the maroon jerseys around the football, trying to get back and there's 4, 5, 6 guys that jump on the play. Cal should try a reverse at the first opportunity when they get decent field position.
Well, slot back Mike Caldwell has come into the ballgame. The give is to Zomo right up the gut on the safe play. He is down shy of the first down near the 26, and guess who made the hit? Wallerstedt for the 3rd consecutive play.
Well, he averages 13 tackles a game, and that's why he is the conference leader. Effective. He knows how to find that football.
Robbie Keane will kick it away. Eric Gulliford waiting to receive it at the 30-yard line. Keane, his second punt of the afternoon. His first sailed 38 yards and was almost blocked. This is a good one. Gulliford calling again for a fair catch at the 27, and he has got it. So with 6:35 to play, the Sun Devils will take the football once more.
You know, I just wonder, the move that Gulliford made right there at the tail end catching that ball, if the sun is bothering him as he was looking up pretty much into the sun. A little bit of hesitation on his part to make the decision, you know, and he didn't exactly juggle it, but by the same token, it could be a factor as the shadows come across.
Now, twice now that Robbie Keane has punted to Gulliford, he has signaled for the fair catch very quickly. The ball had not even started its arc down when he had the hand waving into the air. Russell and Fisher are the setbacks for Arizona State. That is Russell once more. He's out to about the 28 before Chidi Ahanotu is there to bring them down.
Control by the Cal defense. This is Castle Redmond, what it's like to be a linebacker if you'd want to be one. Bang, you get hit right there. Then you get grabbed by the face mask and stuffed in the ground. That don't happen too often to him. He's usually the stuffor rather than the stuffy.
Kelvin Fisher has checked out of the ball game at fullback. Jeff Simino is now the fullback. Play action. Leisure looking downfield. He lets it go. It is almost intercepted. Boy, it was a toss-up between Eric Gulliford and cornerback John Hardy to see who was going to come down with that football. Both had an equal opportunity to make the grab.
Yeah, well, there was good pressure. The pass rush of Cal has not been great, but here's the isolation of it. Good move to slip to the inside. Now watch number 1, John Hardy. He's got it zeroed in. He's going right in front of it. Just got caught behind him a little bit. If he could have cut a tad more, he probably would have had 6 points out of it the way he was going.
3rd down and 9. Cal now in their nickel packages. Collier has checked out at linebacker spot. Leisure looking for first down yardage. Comes to the near side and overthrows his receiver. Boy, Gulliford had a shot at it, and he had a couple of steps. I believe it was Chris Cannon.
Well, you know, I want to tell you one thing. The previous play, they got in his face. They didn't get to Lasher, but they bothered him. And I'll tell you, that play right there was a direct result of the pressure that was put on him the previous play, because he wasn't rushed that bad, and yet he threw the ball. He should have taken a little more time.
Here's Brad Williams to kick it away. He is also on ASU's tennis team. He is 4th. Make it 2nd in the Pac-10 in punting. And, oh, look at this beauty. Trakes has to go a long way to retrieve it. He won't have a chance at a return as the ball is down at the 33-yard line by the Sun Devils of Arizona State. And that'll stop the clock with 5:40 to play in the first period. Cal and the Sun Devils are scoreless in the scorcher from the desert. Wish couple of parents, Randy.
Well, Phil and Don, it's Parents' Day today here at ASU, so we decided to grab a mom and dad, not just any mom and dad. This is Kurt Lasher's mom and dad, Jackie and Roland Lasher. A lot of pressure on your son, but I think he can handle it. How about you?
Sure, he can handle it.
1 for 5 so far. What are you thinking about? I know you're awfully nervous for him.
Well, I'm nervous, but I'm nervous in every game, and I know he's going to do just great, and we're proud of him no matter what happens.
I'm told he has a personality that can withstand pressure. Is that how you describe him?
That's right. He's been through this all his life, this type of situation.
Okay, thanks a lot. Happy Parents' Day. Back to you guys.
And you want to talk pressure? How about David Tisdale with one of the better trips you'll see in the 1990 season? Russell White got his legs tangled up with Tisdale's, and White came to the surface.
Well, Tisdale getting his first start, a true freshman, and I don't know, he's been watching good. Little leg whip out there, gets away with it. The official missed it flat cold.
On 2nd down and 10 from the 34-yard line. Trakes to the near side. Anthony Randolph to the top of the screen. The pitch goes right over the middle, out to the 39-yard line. Brent Woodall, the tight end, has got it, and Wallerstedt covers him.
Well, they'll pick up about 5 yards. They did not choose to go upfield field with it. Pretty good quick rhythm pass to get rid of it. So they got 5 back. They're looking at 3rd and 5.
Third down and 4 now from the 40-yard line.
Good spot.
White is out of the ball game. The lone setback is Zumwalt, as California now has 3 wideouts: Sean Dawkins, Treggs, and Anthony Randolph. It is cut out at the 45-yard line by Woodall again, the tight end, and Tisdale is all over him. It'll be a first down, I believe, for California.
It was very close. The spot will get it. They'll move it, I think, to the 45, or that will give them the first down. The marker is just a tad short for the yardage situation. But Woodall, coming into this football game, had only caught 5 passes. Now he's got a couple here early in the game. That one a delay. He sat there and slow blocked a little bit and then released.
Well, what a big win for that man right there, Bruce Snyder, 2 weeks ago at Arizona. Pulaski rolls right. He's chased now and low. That is almost intercepted. Boy, those are the dangerous ones. In and out of the hands of Brent Woodall, and Brian Hooks was pressuring him. Now let's pause 10 seconds to let our affiliates identify.
You're watching Prime Network.
Along with Don Heinrich and Randy Hall, I'm Phil Stone. There's 4:01 to play here in the first period. We are scoreless. Arizona State and the Bears of California. Pulaski with the draw. The give is to Russell White. He's out across the 47, near the 48. And Wallerstadt, for the 6th time today, is on the tackle. And we haven't even played 13 minutes of this ballgame. Wallerstadt with 6 tackles.
Well, what it tells you, among other things, not only does he have the ability to get to where the ball is, but he has great ability to use his hands and play off of blocks. In most cases, it's the offensive guard, and that's what's getting him to the action.
On 3rd down and 8 trip wide receivers to the top of your screen. Dawkins, Treggs, and Randolph. Pulaski with time comes to the near side. It is caught by Brent Woodall, the tight end again. Adam Brass and Arnold Laws take him out of bounds. That is 3 catches now for Woodall.
He's got to be liking this. The tight end in their system is basically a blocker. Good protection. Back out to the left. They overloaded the far wide side of the field. He just did a little sideline number. And, of course, Pulaski put it in there perfectly.
Woodall, 3 catches for 25 yards. First down, California. That is Greg Zumwalt, the fullback. He is grabbed as he takes a handoff. Jeff Myers spun him around, and so did Shandy Carver, number 98.
And Phil, there are 10 maroon jerseys that jumped into that pile. And one thing that Coach Larry Marmee has chosen to do for this football game, he felt that you have to stop Wallace and White. That's their key guys. They wanted to make Pulaski have to beat them, not the running backs. So they've got a lot of people up near that line of scrimmage attacking the running plays.
Sean Dawkins goes wide to the right in motion. That's the fullback, Zumwalt. Quick release over the middle. It is Woodall, the tight end. He has got it. Fumbles the football, and Arizona State has recovered.
Well, it was an excellent choice as far as throwing the ball to Woodall. You'll see the fake action of the pitch. He comes all the way back, hits the tight end in the crack. There is absolutely no one there. He doesn't really put the football away. He should have grabbed that thing and locked his arm around it when Eric Crawford came from behind to knock it loose. So in that instance, Brent Woodall has caught 4 passes, but he cost them with that one.
So Arizona State with a big defensive move there. The give is to Jeff Semino, and he spins out across the 10.
Well, you know what hurts too when you're on offense? That was a very, very long drive. You want to keep that momentum going as Red Hall comes in to make the play. Hall playing with a broken thumb that he had occurred to him last week. So that's going to affect him wearing that cast on that hand as to how well he can use one arm and grab those jerseys a little bit in the tackles.
Now shift into the pro set on 2nd down and a bunch. It is Semino, and he is tackled by Castle Redmond. A gain of 1, maybe 2 out out near the 14-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and about 5.
Look at number 57. That big cast on his arm looks like a sledgehammer, but the problem is that it's difficult to grab. He has to reach around with that arm, and it makes it hard to get off of the pass blocks that are coming his way or the run blocks. And so he's in there playing, but probably a little less effective than he'd be if he had the use of that hand.
Now from the eye on 3rd down and 4. Lasher comes to the near side, tries to throw, pass intended for Semino out of the backfield, and he overthrows him. Good coverage by David Wilson.
Well, if things don't pick up a little bit here as we're coming down the end of this first quarter, 1 minute and 28 seconds left. Lasher, a little ineffective, wide open receiver there. We may see Brett Powers as this game progresses.
Here is Brad Williams. He's averaging over 44 yards a punt. Cal is showing blocks. They've got 10 men on the line.
Probably return. They want to get field position. They're in pretty good shape right now.
And they do indeed set up for the return as Williams hammers this one. That's Trace at the 38. Got a good block. Can he turn the corner? I don't think so. He is down at the 37.
Excellent coverage by Arizona State.
Gavin Hill led the coverage downfield, and with 1:16 to go, no score from Arizona State. The Bears will have the football again.
What they did right there by blanketing the field, they all maintained their lanes. With a guy as dangerous as Treggs, that's all so important on kickoffs and punts in the coverage areas.
First down from the 37-yard line. Pulaski wants to put it up. Sets up the screen nicely. It is Russell White. He's across the 41 and dives out to the 43 out of bounds. Phillippe Sparks on the coverage. Well, it's likely, I think, Don, that we're going to see more of a two-deep coverage scheme than Arizona State's normal three-deep pattern because of California's preponderance at running the football.
Yeah, they're trying to get more people up there to play the run. In that instance, they hustled up on the pass pretty good, but I want to tell you, that was a slick move by Russell White to sidestep him there and get about 3 extra yards.
2nd and 4. That is White again. This time he won't get much. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage before Israel Stanley moves up to take him down. You know, Arizona State, because of their injury situation, has all but had to go to a much simpler set of defensive schemes and formations.
Well, yes, you're absolutely right. With all those injuries, they have tried to simplify it. But defense becomes one of effort, hustle, and fly around, make it happen. Stanley's been in the backfield a number of times here today just by his penetration. The trapping guard has not picked him off very well.
Mike Caldwell, the slot back, is into the ballgame. He is number 82, and he is in motion. Pulaski, the give is straight ahead to the fullback, Greg Zomo. He creases the Arizona State secondary and is bent over there by Arnold Laws. A first down for California out to the 49 of Arizona State.
And you know, that's exactly what Cal can do by effectively using Zomal. After relying on White and Wallace, you start overloading for them. In most cases, your linebackers are keying them from the tackle standpoint or the adjustments they'll make, and then they slip the ball to Zomal.
Quick receivers to the top of your screen. Caldwell, Randolph, and Treggs. And the give is straight ahead to Zomo once more. And Drew Metcalf brings him down. We were not certain we would see number 47 for Arizona State, Drew Metcalf, as he was one of those Sun Devils on the Arizona State mashed unit. One of 14 players, 7 starters who are out. Well, that's the end of the first period of play. From Arizona State, the Sun Devils and the Golden Bears of California are scoreless. We'll be back in a moment. Play, we want to remind you quarter notes are brought to you by Great Western's family of companies, $40 billion strong. Well, not much to report in our first 15 minutes of play. ASU's first fumble recovery since the first game of the season. But they couldn't do much with it. Lasher thus far is 1 for 6. And rushing-wise, that is a bit of a surprise. Cal is being outrushed, Don.
Well, you know, Larry Marmee prefers to run the football given his druthers, but coming into this season, he had Paul Justin, which gave him a nice plus and an advantage as far as the balance of throwing and running.
Tyson Tolles is in at fullback for California. The give is to White, and he runs into his own interference. He doesn't get much. David Dixon did a great job of penetrating Cal's offensive line.
And there's Red Hall with that bum hoofy. You can see a bit of a handicap when you're trying to reach out for something. He's holding that Coca-Cola in the left hand. It's hard to suck your thumb with that big thing there unless you have a big mouth.
Tell you what, you have trouble reaching out and touching someone. They maybe reach out and club somebody.
Yes.
Third down and 4. Pulaski rolls right. Under pursuit, lets the ball sail just as he's hit and throws it out of bounds. Intended receiver was Russell White downfield. Brian Hooks, great pressure to chase Pulaski out. Boy, Hooks, what big play potential by that man. 6'4", 280 pounds, and hold everything. We've got a flag down. I think it may go against California.
Well, Larry Marmie told us yesterday that Brian Hooks is capable of big plays. Wasn't even sure how much he would play because he has a bad ankle, but you would never know it with the pressure he put on right there. And I'll tell you another thing. It's a good thing he did, because had Pulaski been able to stop and take a little bit of a look around.
On the offense, the penalty's refused. It's 4th down.
Had he been able to go to 4th down, so they refused the call, make Cal punt. But Pulaski had Brian Treggs all alone on the far side of the field. He'd have had a walk-in 6-pointer if he could have got time and spotted him. Just 2 minor factors.
Now to kick it away, it is Robbie Keane. I believe that's Nathan LeDuc back at the 10-yard line, and it is. So Eric Gulliford is not going to return this punt. Keane lets it go, puts it straight up in the air. Good punt, LeDuc. Fair catch at the 16. He has got it and falls down at the 17. So Arizona State will have the football. Thus far today, it has been strictly a battle of the punters. California and Arizona State are scoreless. Our resident psychic Don Heinrich a moment ago talked about if Kurt Lasher is ineffective, expect to see Brett Powers, and Don proved to be prophetic. Powers is in there with just 14:12 to play in the first half. Powers is a redshirt freshman out of Glendale, Arizona. Played at the end of the Baylor game ever so briefly. Has yet to attempt to pass in his collegiate career. Russell Fisher is the up back. He is the fullback right behind Brett Powers. That's Russell coming to the near side. Sheds one tackler, sheds a second tackler, but cannot shed number 3.
The guy that missed him was Joel Dixon. Had him for a loss. Broke in behind the pulling guard and tackle and had an opportunity for a big play. Didn't get it. Fairly logical that Brett Powers would come in, Phil, because Kurt Lasher 9 for 25 last week with 4 interceptions and started out cold here. There we look at it again as you see him come in behind and slip off. That's what a guy like Russell can do with his size at 238. So it isn't just a total miss, but you got to make those kind of plays. On the other hand, Marmie has to make something happen as one of the injured players is coming off for Arizona State. So he's gone to Brett Powers in hopes that the 6'6 freshman can start getting something generated.
That's Jeff White, the strong side guard for Arizona State out of Schuylerville, Indiana. He will go off. Looks to be perhaps just a little shaken up more than anything else. There's Kurt Lasher, and you can bet that young man not particularly happy, but most importantly, he wants his Sun Devils to win. Second down, and caught at 9 from the 18-yard line. Powers, his first pass at Arizona State, is overthrown, intended for Kevin Snyder, and boy, that's about as tight a spiral as you're going to see thrown.
Well, pretty good move to run him out of there and get him outside any potential pass rush. I would expect in long yardage situations to see Cal start blitzing more and shake him up, since he is a true freshman and has limited playing time, and we catch a look on the sideline of the injury as they check his knee, and a bit of a wincing reaction there, and you got to know that's going to hurt. The tape around there actually is a knee guard that all the players wear on both knees as a preventative, but it's apparently got a little problem beyond that.
3rd and 9 from the 18. Powers is smothered under in California with their 12th sack of the year. Joel Dixon leading the charge.
And the thing that really helped is they had a full blitz coming right there. They brought in Eric Zomalt, who is a 5'11", 185-pound back. As you look at Powers dropping back, see the people on the inside, 25 right there, and a couple others. That's David Wilson. So they brought some secondary people to put pressure on him, and they didn't pick up Dixon. It's a way to get after a young quarterback, bother him, knock him down, beat him around a little bit.
Cal showing block. They've got 10 men on the line. Brad Williams, low snap. It is almost blocked, and he gets it away. That is Treggs at the 49. Coming to the near side. And he is smacked down at the 49. What a hit by Jason Martin. Oh, what a hit on Treggs.
And beautiful coverage by the punt cover team, too. Nowhere for him to go. That helped the hit. Look at a few scores there. Oregon State and Arizona. How about that one, folks? 14-14 tie. And Michigan State upsetting #1 Michigan by a point.
Virginia 6-0. Boy, they are happy in Cavalier country with the victory over the Wolfpack. And look at Miami all over Kansas 22-0. That game midway through quarter number 3. Here we are scoreless with 13:15 to play in the first half. Zumwalt is in motion. The pitch goes to Wallace, and he won't turn the corner. Michael Williams on the stop.
Well, part of the reason is Greg Zumwalt was trying to kick Williams out. And you'll see 28 right there as he goes at good force on his part. But really, in that instance, Wallace should have geared back his speed and come up underneath him a little bit. That's where the lane was. He tried to get to the only spot where it wasn't there. And, of course, Wallace made the wrong decision.
On 2nd and 15 now from the 47. Play action. Pulaski. He's going for it. It is in and out of the hands of Brent Woodall. What a shot by Eric Crawford, the right corner.
Yes, and Brian Treggs was wide open at the 30-yard line. And was he unhappy he didn't get the football? He swung his arms. There's the throw behind him a little bit. But if he'd have just looked beyond him up the sideline, he had an easy completion and a big gain.
Well, you can bet Treggs said something to Pulaski as they went back into the huddle. Pulaski looking right now. Wants to throw. Comes to the sideline. It is caught.
But not enough yardage.
The slot back Mike Caldwell, the freshman who has 3 touchdowns already this year, is hit immediately by Arnold Laws. They'll be well short of the first down.
You can't waste opportunities. That's the best field position that Cal has had, taking over at the 48-yard line. And as it turns out, they lose yardage on the first down and incomplete pass and one that doesn't get enough. You got to go get the yardage in this instance. Now they got to kick it back.
Arizona State has blocked 7 kicks in their last 13 games, and you can bet Robbie Keane knows it. Puts it straight up in the air. Nathan LeDuc is going to let this one go as the ball bounces at the 10-yard line. So California doing a nice job for the 2nd consecutive time in pinning Arizona State deep in their own territory. And with 11:43 to play in the first half, the Sun Devils will have it once more.
Well, the first couple of times that Cal got the football in this game in the first quarter, they had poor field position and managed to get through, and of course, no points against them. Now, in the last couple of turnovers by punt, Arizona State has had to start deep in their territory. So nobody's generated as Lasher's come back into the offense again.
Kurt Lasher is back in the ball game. The give coming up to the near side. It is Leonard Russell as he creases the 12 out near the 13. And Rhett Hall knocks him down. Continues to run. We're now inside 11:28 to go in the first half. Neither team has made a serious bid at putting the football in the end zone.
They haven't had real consistency. They've never really got anything going. It's sort of like they're hunting and pecking to see what's going to work for them, be it run or pass.
Now, California, they have shown signs of brilliancy in terms of defense against the run. They certainly showed it against Arizona, but as I said at the outset, they have been a defensive extremes. Here's a little inside handoff to Kelvin Fisher, and he is running in traffic and does not get much. Now, don't you know, this has just got to be killing. That man right there, Paul Justin, All-American candidate, certainly a Heisman Trophy hopeful. Out 2 weeks ago when he was scrambling for a fumble of his own against Missouri. As he reached out to grab the football, he was pounced on and the shoulder popped out. Fortunately, Don, it was his left shoulder.
Yeah, and there's an example as you see him shading his eyes. If they're throwing a pass to their right offensively for Arizona State, that's to the bench where the sun is, and that is going to be a bit of a problem for receivers picking up the fight of the ball.
3rd down and 8 now from the 14, and now Lasher wants the timeout. Apparently doesn't like something he saw in the California defensive scheme of things. Now this is the 12th meeting between the Bears and the Sun Devils, and the series itself, Don, is about as close as it can sit. Arizona State leading this series 6 games to 5. We're coming back with more from the floor of the desert in Tempe in a moment. We're Randy Hall is standing by with Jeff White.
How are you feeling? You came limping off the field. What happened?
A lot better. Just got turned some way, and it was, I don't know. It seems to feel all right now, though.
But you're going back out there.
Yeah.
Okay, good luck. That's the update from here. Back to you, Phil.
All right, Randy. Kurt Lasher is back in at quarterback for Arizona State, and again, he's looking off to his right. Apparently doesn't like something he's seeing.
Changing the play.
Now Cal is backing off. Lasher backs to pass. Throws. It is caught at the 22-yard line and down instantly. Eric Billiford on the catch.
Not enough.
Good coverage by Darrell Brown.
I'll tell you what he did there, Phil, actually. He saw both corners up in a bump and run position and the two safeties back, and he went to an automatic play where he was going to try and beat them deep, either on the left or right, both of them on a streak or fly pattern. But when he saw that he couldn't get the ball out there, then he came off to the inside tight end. And a big tight end he is at 6'7", 254 pounds.
One of the finest in the Pac-10 as they measure now for the first down. They'll be a bit shy, about 6 inches. You talk about Ryan McReynolds.
Generous spot, I might add.
McReynolds already has 1 touchdown this year. 2 years he has been first-team academic all Pac-10.
One of the finer tight ends in the nation, as you were just mentioning. Not only a good one, but well thought of by the professional scouts.
So Arizona State will kick it away. Brad Williams, his 4th of the afternoon, make it his 5th of the afternoon. And it is Trakes all alone back at the 36 for Cal. Good snap as Cal sets up for the return.
That's a return ball, too.
Trakes has got it at the 37. He's up across the 40 and smothered there. Tackled by Adam Grass, and it comes with 9:44 to play in the first half. Cal and Arizona State are scoreless. Al Sun Devil Stadium first opened back in 1958. Boy, what a beautiful facility it is. And like most of the modern stadiums erected in the late 40s, 50s, and early 60s, it has been added on to a number of times. But they have done it with a great deal of forethought, and it is still one of the finest football facilities in all America. And I might add, some outstanding football fans.
Yes, and Frank Kush, through all the years that he coached here, had major success in the WAC conference, and people that took him on, they knew they were in a ball game. He used to always say, and I've known Frank for a lot of years, that he'd go to Pennsylvania to get his big linemen, and he'd go to California to get his skilled people. He had a great combination working.
Went to Dallas, Texas to get a pretty good skilled receiver in John Jefferson.
Yes,
one of the very, very best. 9:44 to play in the first half, scoreless. Zomalt and Wallace are the setbacks behind Pulaski, and it is Wallace. He is out across the 47, out near the 49, and Michael Williams brings him down.
Well, Steve Gordon, one of the best offensive centers on the coast, if not in the country, doing a good job inside where Arizona State has hurt the most. Tim Landers has been moved from an outside tackle to a nose guard. I'm surprised Cal doesn't continue to just punish that area.
Wallace now with 22 yards on 6 carries. Russell White only 4 yards on 4 carries. And here comes Wallace again across the midfield stripe. And Shante Carver brings him down. A flag is also on the field.
Way late. Came way from the outside. It was not the umpire that made that throw. In fact, that guy ought to be playing. He's got a pretty good arm.
That'll be a personal foul, I believe, against the Sun Devils.
Arizona State a little bit different with their defensive front people. Normally they use a 3-down lineman and a 4th, like so many do, an outside rusher, be it one or the other linebackers, and they're marking off that one for a big 15-yarder. But they're playing essentially 4-down linemen and trying to angle one way or other to stop the rushing.
With the helmet. Automatic first down against the defense.
Now you can see that one rather plainly, a spearing ball against Arizona State. First and 10 from the 33. Trakes goes wide to the left. In the slot is Mike Caldwell. Looking left to Trakes. Did he get his hands under it? Arizona State says no. I believe the officials are going to say yes, that is a catch. Eric Crawford on the coverage. I wasn't certain whether Trakes got his hands under the ball before it hit the grass.
Well, the adjustment by Trakes is excellent because he goes down low.
Second down and 5 now from the 28-yard line. That's Wallace. He moves it down near the 23. Arizona State's David Tisdale from Terrell, Texas, and Brett Waterstedt take him down. Now possessions, you look, Cal. This is their 5th. In 4 punts and a fumble. Arizona State, they've had 6. 5 punts and a missed field goal. So not a whole lot of what you would call scintillating offense.
Well, if you like running, it is. Both teams have run the ball fairly well. It's a passing game if you're an exponent of the football in the air.
Wallace, the tailback. He has got the football, and he's inside the Arizona State 17. Scott Woodford on the stop.
Well, you're from Ohio. Woody Hayes would like this.
Well, I'll tell you, more and more, you know, it used to be that the Big Ten schools, the Big 8 schools, Don, would simply pound it out on the ground. More and more in the last 2 years, we've seen that philosophy transcend into the Pac-10 as well. A lot of outstanding running backs in this conference. Second down, short yardage. There's Wallace. He is inside the 10-yard line. And for the Golden Bears of California, it will be 1st and goal near the 9. Great lead blocks by Steve Gordon and Troy Auzine.
Well, they've stayed with it. 56, Gordon moving to his right and then just turning right there. Tim Landers, number 99, to open the slot up and give him the opportunity to blow up inside.
1st and goal. The ball nosing just inside the 10. In motion is Zomo. Near side. Pawlowski wants to throw. It is caught. Touchdown, California.
He had a choice. He also had Treggs for the touchdown. Well, did he catch them flat-footed? Sean Dawkins, wow. They reached 3rd. You know, that's his 3rd reception. You see the fake? Look at everybody going the other way. They're all caught out of control. Now, Sean Dawkins will come to the inside. You'll see him at the top. All alone. Nobody covers him. He catches the football. I want to tell you what, that's his 3rd reception and his 2nd touchdown. It looked like he was going to run. Good adjustment on his part to find him and also to influence the defense. Dawkins, 3 catches, 2 touchdowns.
And to attach the point after, it is Robbie Keane, and he has got it. So the clock stops with 7:17 to play in the first half, and the Bears of California take a 7-0 lead. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week. Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, California, with a pass to Sean Dawkins from 10 yards away. And they take a 7-0 lead. The drive covering 59 yards. It took them 2:27 to execute 7 plays. And for Mike Pawlowski, it is his 10th touchdown toss of this 1990 season. And Keane is set to boot it away. Felipe Sparks and Kevin Galbraith are in their own end zone for Arizona State. And it'll be Galbraith at the 5. He juggles it, now grabs the football, cuts it back to the center of the field, out across the 28, near the 29, and a flag comes sailing in from the far side of the field. So hold everything. That is traditionally a sign of an illegal block or a clip. So expect Arizona State to not start out at their own 29-yard line, but probably closer inside their own 20. The officials are talking it over, and we'll listen. It is holding against Arizona State. Don, I talked about the closeness of this series. This is the 12th meeting between these two teams. Arizona State holding a slim 6-5 advantage, but the scores have rarely been close. In fact, the margin of difference averages a whopping 18 points a game.
Well, right now,
Holding on the receivers, during the return, 10-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
you get the call right now. Of course, Cal doing pretty much what they'd like to be able to do is run the football as they did in that last drive, even though they ended up with a pass. Washington ripped ASU for 329 yards rushing, so Cal's taking up on that. Arizona's trying to find a way to move the football.
Arizona State starting now from their own 11-yard line as they marked it off from the point of the foul. Fleischer throws for the sideline. It is cut but out of bounds. Gulliford grabbed it, but he was well across the sideline boundary. David Wilson in hot pursuit.
Problem with that play is he makes play action fake to the left side, then he has to come back to the right and throw all the way across field, so it takes so long to throw that the receiver takes himself out of bounds and out of the play.
That's a good point, Don. They're running it to the short side, or what they oftentimes refer to as the boundary side of the field, and you're absolutely right. Your receiver simply runs out of real estate over there.
Yeah, if he had a regular drop back pattern, there would be a better rhythm, and he could get the ball off on the timing basis.
Well, look at that comparison. No comparison at all. What a contrast between Pawlowski and Lasher. Lasher again, now on second and 10, coming to the near side, throws. It is almost intercepted. Castle Redmond. The ball was intended for Fisher, but Redmond let it go right through his hands. Boy, Lasher must be languishing just a bit. It is now 3rd down and 10 from the 11. And if you're Cal, watch for them blitzing. Look at the linebackers. Now they pull back. Lasher rolling near side. Pass is thrown. It is caught by Kevin Galbraith. Then he is pushed out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Correction, Kevin Snyder. John Hardy shoved him out of bounds.
Yard short of the first down. What good does it do on a 3rd and 9 or 10 if you only go a yard short? Which is what he did. They still have to kick it.
Now take a look at it right here. Kevin Snyder, he had the football, just didn't run the pattern deep enough.
That's right. One more step. Good adjustment, good catch. Get that foot down. Not enough yardage.
Here's Williams. Cal almost blocks it. Good punt. Trakes has to go a long way to get it. And this one's going to go out of bounds. And what a punt by Brad Williams. 53 yards, and there will be no return. For the Pac-10 has a couple of outstanding punters. Brad, number 2 in the Pac-10, behind Washington State's Jason Hansen. Here's some scores for you. As we look at our own score, California 7-0 over Washington State in a 4th quarter score. Oregon State over Arizona 28-21. Stay with us at halftime as we present college football. Today's halftime report. Rick Garcia brings you all the scores and highlights of today's action. That's college football today's halftime report coming up in just 6 minutes and 44 seconds. In motion, it is Caldwell on first down for California. Pawlowski right over the top. It goes to his tight end, Brent Woodall. He is down instantly by David Tisdale. A couple of other scores. Washington beat Oregon 38-17. That now is a final from Husky Stadium. Clock running here. 6:22 to play in the first half. Now that one now a final 2 at Stanford. SC winning. Oregon State, as we told you, over Arizona. It was number 1 Michigan falling to the Spartans 28-27. Here comes Wallace, tries to turn the corner and won't get a whole lot before Adam Brass tackles him with help from Brian Hooks.
I'm a little bit surprised that Wallace is playing quite as much as he is. I would have thought they would have split a little more time with Russell White, since White actually is averaging about 5.5 yards a carry to 4.5 for Wallace, which is only a yard difference, but White can make some bigger plays.
And we have not seen much of Russell White. We will endeavor to find out why. Drake splits wide to the left. Pawlowski gives it right up the gut to Wallace again. And he is out across the 42, near the 43, before Tisdale brings him down again. Boy, Tisdale, he is a high school freshman from Terrell, Texas, about 15 miles east of Dallas. And he is certainly not playing like a young man less than a year removed from high school football.
And he's not real big at 216 pounds. So I'll tell you, his ability to find the ball, as they say, nose for the ball, he falls back into it, gets off that tight end's block very well.
Wallace and Zumwalt are the running backs behind Pawlowski. Now Zumwalt in motion. Go Wallace. Back to the near side to Treggs on the end around. He has got one man to beat downfield. And he'll not be able to do it. He is out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Brent Wallerstedt took him down. And I'll tell you, if Steve Gordon could have gotten the block on Wallerstedt, Treggs would have been gone.
Yes, and Brian Hooks, who has not played very much, is down on one knee, kneeling as a reverse by design. You usually send an offensive lineman across his face, then peel around behind him. Now watch the right side of your screen. 68 is going to come back, and keep watching the right side. Bang, right there to the left side. He really got pounded on that peel back block. That's one of those kind that stiffens your spine pretty good, and he's at least up on one knee at this point, but a nice play. Earlier, you know, Phil, when we talked about the possibility of a reverse, they used it at a nice time to get themselves at least into relatively good scoring position. He's saying, what happened? Who hit me? Where's the, get that truck's license plate?
Well, like Lawrence Taylor once said, there's nothing better in life than a head-on collision.
Well, that was a 295-pounder that gave him that head-on collision. On the left of your screen, you'll see it take place. Now on the right on the change, there's the exchange of the ball, but look at right here. Just there, peeling in at the cross hash mark. Bow. Upended. And of course, free sailing for a while out front of it. Steve Gordon, the center.
Al Hook still having problems getting up, and I'll tell you that's one thing. Arizona State, they have 14 people injured. 7 of them are starters.
Well, if he didn't have a headache, he's got one now, but he's going back to his own side of the football and wants to stay in.
And boy, he is shaking his finger at Cal. He's saying, you got to do better than that to get me out of this ball game.
He said, I owe you one. And now a free one on me.
Now Greg Cortis started off the field. Yeah, he is a little rocky. Brian Hook's going to go out and sit a play. And I'll tell you, they are on their feet here at Sun Devil Stadium.
Standing O. Pretty tough in the ring, huh? Couldn't get him down. Is that what you call taking a punch?
First and 10, California at the 35. Trip wideouts for Washington. Russell White is in the ballgame, I should say, for California. Russell White right behind Pulaski. That's Caldwell. He has got it, and he is down at the 18-yard line by Nathan Ledoux.
We get a lot of mileage out of Caldwell when they put him in that slot position. Second leading receiver for this football team, and he's busted a few of those for touchdowns before.
Now one Pac-10 final. There is a shocker from Corvallis, Oregon State over number 21 Arizona, 35-21.
Oh, and congratulations to Coach Dave Craigthorpe.
That is Russell White. We wondered why we hadn't seen him as he pounds his way to the 10. Drew Metcalf in to bring him down.
And he drug him the last 5 yards. There was a nice hole for the first 5, and he drug him for 5 more. You know, Dave Craigthorpe's had a lot of injuries up there at Oregon State, too, much like this Arizona State team.
Now you see Arizona State's medical staff working on Brian Hooks, and they need him back in the ballgame.
Just a sophomore, 280 pounds. He really got drilled.
Now they just announced the Arizona loss here at Arizona State, and there is Russell White. Touchdown, California.
That's why I said earlier, I'm surprised they haven't used him more, but you saw him break that last tackle. You don't arm tackle him going into that end zone. However, from a coaching standpoint, the other side of it is Bruce Snyder might be saying, well, the weather's a little different here. Maybe we'll just try and kind of spell him more. But look at here. He doesn't take that hole. He refuses. It goes outside. And then you take a look at Eric Crawford, number 39, 173-pound junior, said, oh, wait a minute. That arm tackle's not going to get it, Eric. There's the adjustment. He makes that little skip move and then just kind of side slip through there. It's so subtle you don't notice it, but he's also got that leg strength to keep moving.
Keane from the hold of Mike Beebe. It is there. And that'll stop the clock with 4:26 to play in the first half. And California has gone out to a 2-touchdown lead as words are being exchanged down on the field at about the 5-yard line. Now things tend to break up a bit, but thus far it has been Sean Dawkins and Russell White that have been the difference.
Cal is starting to do what they wanted coming into this football game, and that is control the football on the ground. On the other hand, Coach Marmie felt that he had to take the rushing game away, specifically of Wallace and White. Now, Zumwalt has helped out to a certain extent, but they have been unable to do that with that patched-up defensive line unit there.
Don, other than the obvious, when, as in the case of Arizona State, you've lost 14, maybe 15 players to injuries thus far this year, what does that do to your football team? I would think certainly a loss of continuity would have to be a byproduct.
Well, it does disrupt it, there's no question. It limits what you can do or try to do in terms of any adjustments during the week for a particular team. But you also cannot let it affect you mentally from the standpoint that the rest of the team that as a crutch and saying, well, you know, I knew something would go wrong. We got people hurt.
Now California with a score here in the second period. It took them 2 minutes and 18 seconds to go 73 yards. Russell White from 10 yards out. And it is 14-0 California. As Robbie Keane is set to let it fly. A yard deep in the end zone. Here comes Sparks. Out across the 20. And he is smacked at the 28. Good hit by Joyner.
Yeah, and he got upfield in a hurry when you figure he took it 2 yards deep and brought it out as far as he did and still had to come across field a little bit. Excellent run back as he catches it there. Some question whether you want to bring that out, but you see him working towards the middle of the field where he knows that his wedge or blocking is setting up. Strong safety moved the cornerback, but also returns kickoffs.
Victor Cahoon and Eric Gulliver to the wideouts now as Brett Powers is back in his quarterback for the Sun Devils. Play action. Powers rolls right. He's got time. Throws on the run. It is tipped at the line of scrimmage and is in and out of the hands of Victor Cahoon. Bill Ayer, the inside linebacker on the right side, got his fingers on the ball and just took the football off trajectory as it was en route to Victor Cahoon.
Yeah, unhappy he didn't intercept it. He thought he should have had it. Went up for it, skipped through his hands. Cahoon also has been a running back in the past, is the fastest player on the squad. That's why they moved him to the outside, because they want to try and utilize that speed to go along with some of their outside people.
Cahoon is at the top of your screen. That is Gulliver at the bottom on second down. The give is right up the middle to Leonard Russell. He is at the 45-yard line across the midfield stripe and wrestled from behind by Ron English.
Nice job by the offensive line right there. No pursuit on the inside. You don't see any white jerseys. All tangled up with the blocking. Into the secondary, then a good adjustment on Russell. Makes a couple of people miss. Nice 29-yard run, and Leonard Russell shows why he runs the football so well. David Wilson, the first miss there, the defensive corner.
Now from the eye, it is Russell, and Fisher is the up back. First down at the 43-yard line of California. That's Fisher as he tries to pick his way inside the 40 and does so before Rhett Hall grabs him and spins him down. Boy, Rhett Hall, number 57 for California, had an amazing 15-game streak in which he had at least one tackle behind the line of scrimmage. It ended last week against San Jose State when he suffered that broken thumb. He had to come out of the ball game in the second half, but boy, what a streak.
Really, he had 7.5 going this year. Of course, that reached back to last year. He's also the team leader in sacks with 3.5.
Second down and 7 from the 39. Arizona State trailing 14-0. The pitch comes to the near side. It's Russell at the 30. Needs a block. Can't get it and is dropped at the 18. A gain of 23, and Darrell Brown takes him down.
Well, that's 23 and 29 in this drive by Russell alone. So he's putting up some real estate numbers right here. Cal, on the other hand, defensively is looking tired. They are not really pursuing well. They look, and certainly not saying out of shape because in this heat, but they are looking a little bit weary, and there's Russell's numbers.
Now he's got 2/3 of Arizona State's rushing totals today. First down. He's got it again. Tries to bounce to the outside. And is still on his feet. He's got just about everybody in a white jersey on top of Eric Zumwalt. Led the charge. Zumwalt, the younger brother of Cal's fullback Greg Zumwalt.
Yes, and George Montgomery was the original starter, so Russell actually is the backup. What if they had Montgomery back, since he's missed a few games and they expect him back in another week or so, but give him a nice twosome back there.
And it appears as if Leonard Russell may be hurt as he is bent over at about the 16-yard line, having
tired.
Sure he's tired, or if he might have gotten the wind knocked out of him. Stops the clock with 2:22 to play.
He wants some wind. I don't think he's hurt. I think he's just trying to get some air. You know, he isn't the kind of guy that makes so many people miss as he does running through people. So he has to work a little extra hard in a lot of instances and uses up a lot of extra energy as he goes to the sideline for a little rest.
Now it is Fisher at tailback as Russell has gone out. Fisher has got the football. He picks his way through the left side and doesn't get much. John Belli, the nose guard, drops him. Clock runs, 1:57, 1:56.
Trying to get Russell back in the game. One of the coaches is talking to him on the sideline. And now they're working on him down on the sideline.
Well, Arizona State doesn't seem to be at all in a hurry. They're down 2 touchdowns with 1:41 to play. They're taking their time.
It's a little bit surprising that they're doing that.
Semino and Fisher are the running backs. Now they move into the split back formation. Powers wants to put it up, throws, and it's almost intercepted. Jeff Semino, the fullback, had it. The ball popped up in the air, and I thought for a moment as if Castle Redmond might pick it off. That's the second time today that Redmond almost had an interception in his mitts.
Well, they've had 3 or 4 that have gone through their hands. Good protection there as he throws the ball in. Should have been put away without any difficulty. But he got a lot of white jerseys around him. Good recovery by the defensive secondary.
From the hold of Leduc, Mike Ritchie will try and get the Sun Devils on the scoreboard. He missed earlier from 35 yards away. Nathan Leduc sets it down. Ritchie puts his foot into it. And this time it is good. So with 1:19 to play, Arizona State is on the scoreboard. It is California 14, the Sun Devils 3. And now a flag goes down as there's some extracurricular activity taking place down at about the 12-yard line.
And there's been extracurricular activity over on the sideline with Leonard Russell, as it appears to be one of the trainers has been working on him. He's been lying on the ground, whether it's leg cramps or something else. It doesn't appear to be serious. He's now finally on his feet, but he's been down through that whole series.
Dead ball against the defense, offense. Dead ball, non-contact against the defense. They cancel.
We had a double penalty in the event that you didn't get that from the official. Both teams dead ball foul, so they cancel each other out.
Now California, defensively, they have played outstanding. And as I said at the outset of our telecast, Don, they have certainly been at defensive extremes. When the intensity is there, they have played very, very good defense. When it is not there, they get run over like a steamroller.
They've improved themselves recently, and their record has reflected it in the last several games. And you can tell by that particular drive, the best one of the Sun Devils, 60 yards in 8 plays. And that's what they've wanted, some type of consistency, even though it ended up with just 3 points. Going into the halftime gives them a little bit of a lift. On the other hand, Cal will be the receiving team coming out in the second half.
You talked about that drive, Don. 52 of their 60 yards came on just 2 runs by Leonard Russell.
He came out, but I suspect he'll be okay and back in the second half. He didn't appear to have any major effects.
How many more injuries can this Arizona State Sun Devil team have here in 1990?
As he went to the locker room a little bit early with one of the trainers. There's still plenty of time if they get a decent return to get up in a field goal position themselves for Cal.
It's picked up at the 29-yard line, out across the 39, out near the 40 is where Jason Wilborn will be stopped by Michael Williams. Don Heinrich mentioned still 1:12 to play here in the first half.
And Robbie Keane, one of the premier kickers.
Now Pulaski thus far in the first half has played exceptionally well. Take a look, 11 of 15, 100-plus yards. And a touchdown to Sean Dawkins.
Yeah, most of it short to medium passes. They have yet to really air it out.
Well, they've got single coverage Treggs with Eric Crawford on them. But the give is to Anthony Wallace, and there'll be nothing there as Scott Woodford brings him down. I don't think Pulaski saw the mismatch on Brian Treggs.
I think you're absolutely right. See, they're into their 2-minute drill right now, but that was a bad decision on Wallace's part.
Protection coming to the near side, now unloads. It is cut. It is cut by Greg Zomald out at the midfield stripe. A flag is down at the 35. Felipe Sparks took Zomald out of bounds.
Well, if it's against Cal, that really hurts because they are at midfield with that reception. Good job to find that receiver by Pulaski. Good job on the run here.
No penalty.
Little sidearm shot.
Play's being picked up. The play was legal.
Oops.
Inadvertent flag, no penalty.
Yeah, well, nice break for Cal. They don't care how they get it. They're up there almost ready to cross the 50, depending on the spot. And still 43 seconds to go. And it appears as though they have 2 timeouts available to them.
And they got the first down with the ball nosing just shy of the midfield stripe. Well, stay tuned at halftime. All the scores and highlights from around college football. And whoa, have there been some surprises today. First down, California. Play action. Pulaski wants to put it up. Comes to the near side. It is cut by Zumwalt out of the backfield. And out of bounds he goes at the 47-yard line. Felipe Sparks chased him out once more.
That took about 9 seconds. Arizona State always won to play a zone that isn't going to give you the opportunity to make the big play, and that's one of the reasons that Cal is going to the short and medium passes. On the other hand, Brian Triggs taking to the wide side of the field. They're showing a zone early. He's looking for an opportunity to get one deep, trying to beat that zone in the crack.
Play action, Pulaski looking for Crawford, and Crawford's got it at the 34-yard line as Mike was wide open. Adam Brass brought him down. But Mike Caldwell, I think I called him Crawford, Caldwell was wide open as he made the cut.
Well, that was the example of the zone that Arizona is playing right now. It is the safe defense. It isn't a prevent defense as such where you're just giving away anything. It's what they've been utilizing through the better part of this football game. There is the big hole in there, and a good read by Pulaski to come down the middle.
Other scores, boy, look at number 7 Nebraska, the Huskers all over Missouri. And boy, after that loss last week by Missouri.
What do you think Bob Stoll has to think down after taking that beat? What he said was, afterwards he said, well, we didn't have a 5-down defense. They only had 4.
A&M and Houston 24 all in the 3rd period. And BYU, boy, Ty Detmer just continues to roll. Colorado number 14 over Iowa State 28-12. Boy, Colorado, they are a blessed team here in 1990. Georgia
sure have been.
Over Clemson by a couple. And Ohio State blew a 10-point lead in the 4th quarter as Indiana caught them and tied them. Wyoming by 3 over New Mexico.
Stubborn New Mexico.
22. Very, very stubborn ball club. And Mississippi over the Bulldogs of Georgia by a bunch. Iowa down Wisconsin in motion. It is Caldwell. To the near side. It is caught. Zumwalt bounced out of bounds at the 16-yard line.
Complete to Zumwalt.
But Pulaski now has completed 9 passes in a row for over 90 yards and a touchdown.
Well, this is a nice drive that they have working right here. They'll cross both of the backs out of the backfield. You'll see number 6, that's Anthony Wallace on the fake draw. Now he'll go left. On the other hand, you'll see Zumwalt coming back from left to right, circling around shallow underneath the linebackers. It's as good as going upfield with the football and puts them in great position at the 17, 21 seconds to go, and still 2, well, no, I think it's 1 timeout left.
Now they're going to stop the clock as Pulaski wants to come to the near side. Well, we talked about California's rushing the football. In their last 3 games, they have averaged over 150 yards rushing. I tell you, if they do it again today, it'll be the first time since 1975 when Cal won a share of the then Pac-8 championship. Well, while there's a timeout on the field, let's pause 10 seconds to let our affiliates identify themselves. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week.
You're watching Prime Network.
Sun Devil Stadium back in I think it was 78. There was a motion picture filmed here by the name of Star is Born with Chris Christopherson and Barbra Streisand. A couple of years ago, U2 did a movie here, and the Pope said Mass here in 87, and there's a Honey Nut Cheerios commercial that's airing right now that was filmed here at Sun Devil Stadium. I want to remind you to stay with us at halftime as we present College Football Today's halftime report. Rick Garcia bringing you all the scores and highlights, and that'll be coming your way in just 21 seconds.
Well, they got ample time to get at least 2 good shots to the end zone if they want to go all the way, and I still believe they have 1 timeout available.
Treggs goes wide to the left. White's got the football as he makes a move. He is at the 10.
Bill. I want to tell you, they got away with one. That was a big play all the way. The blitz was on, safety blitz, everybody coming. Nobody picked up the outside man to the left of Pulaski, and the two inside receivers picked them off and allowed the receiver to take it in the end zone, virtually untouched.
Just a great play call on the part of the California offensive coaching staff. Boy, what a play.
There's the rush in his face, but look, see the outside white jerseys? Actually, they had screened the defensive people there.
Robbie Keane with the point after, and it is good, and that stops the clock with 16 seconds to play. And now California begins to stretch it out as they lead the Sun Devils 21-3.
Well, it only took a minute and 3 seconds. There was a 1:19 on that clock at that kickoff. They chose to go for the squib type of a kick, not wanting the deep people to have a chance to run it back. As a result, Cal still got it in good field position and some good use of the clock. Yeah, there's the two receivers right there. That's Treggs. You see the outside receiver coming underneath. Watch Treggs right there. See, that's almost a block, folks. Look at 52 out there. Look at 56. I mean, that's all upfield. I mean, that's what you call reaching down and maybe have an official miss one, but you like it when it's you.
Right now, let's go down to Randy Hall, who's standing by with Russell White. Randy?
All right, Russell White, what a half.
Thanks.
Did you think that was going to come your way, that touchdown?
Yeah, that's the play we put together. So it's bound to work.
All right, how are you feeling? Did you know there'd be this much of a difference? You had to feel confident.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm very confident right about now.
How about the second half? How many times do you think you'll get it?
It's going to be even better. It's going to be even better.
Congratulations. Great game so far. Russell White. Thanks, guys. Back to you.
All right, Randy. Russell White says, hey, if you like that, stay tuned. Watch what I do in the second half.
I like it that he said it's bound to work. Of course, they had everybody blocked. Look at the summary. 6 plays, 62 yards, a minute and 3 seconds with Russell White. His second touchdown pass of the season, but a big one right here.
His second touchdown of the day, along with Sean Dawkins' touchdown. And it is 21-3. That's Galbraith. Picks it up at the 12, out across the 25, and he'll take it out of bounds near the 30. He wants to at least let his offensive team get a shot at putting some points on the board. Tackled by Marty Holy. So Arizona State has 11 seconds to see if they possibly can take it 60 yards. Make it 70 yards. Now, Larry Marmy, in an article in the newspaper this morning, indicates that perhaps there's a little bit of heat on that man right there in the third year of a 4-year contract. But keep in mind, until this year, he was pretty much playing with players that John Cooper had recruited. Larry Marmy's players are now just sophomores and a couple of juniors. A pass by Powers is caught by Galbraith out across the 40-yard line, and he is smothered immediately. Zomold on the stop. By the way, the word on Leonard Russell is that he has a strained back. Leonard Russell of Arizona State, having been walked into the locker room about 3 minutes ago. It is still uncertain whether he will come back or not. But you know, to continue the story about Larry Marmy taking a little bit of heat here this year, I don't think anybody can win. I don't care who you are, Don, if you've got 2/3 of your players on the bench with injuries.
At any level.
Players. Absolutely.
At any level. High school, college, professional, little league. And a lot of them are key players for them. Real impact players, unfortunately.
Well, 7 of the 14 starters, and now with Hooks on the bench, and if Leonard Russell is out, that's 16 of your players and 9 of your starters out.
And
How can you win?
Well, they've also been hurt.
Football against the defense. Automatic first down. Timeout. Arizona State. That's their second.
They picked up a personal penalty against Cal to move it 15 yards further up. But what I was about to say is that a couple of things happen on the injuries. If they're all essentially in the same areas, that hurts you because of the depth factor, and that's what's happened, particularly in the middle. Landers, now playing at the nose tackle when he's an outside defensive tackle.
Good point.
And there are 2 other starters in there are out. And so if you use that criteria down the line, that's the thing that really puts you in trouble. Now, for example, the Washington Huskies, who had a big win over Oregon today, they have 2 starting linebackers out, but they have enough depth in the linebacker category that that they don't really lose a great deal. Unfortunately here, they lose some things. The next thing is your schedule. If you're playing maybe some weaker teams, and possibly to get a bye to get some people healthy is a big factor.
Well, when you talk about those injured players, we chronicled them at the top of our telecast, 7 of them on the starting unit, but they have had just a bunch. In fact, here they are right now. There are the 7 injured starters. Justin, George Montgomery, the running back, Paul DeBono, and on defense, Shane Collins, Minifield, the cornerback, and an outstanding one he is, linebacker Darren Woodson, and Matt Mason are also out, and that's only 7 of the 14, and now Hooks, the left defensive tackle, and Leonard Russell, the tailback, have been lost thus far today. We are not certain whether we will see them in the second half. Brett Howard from the shotgun. He lets it go to the near side, and it is in and out of the arms of number 82, Eric Moss. And that will be it as the first half comes to an end here at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe. A pair of touchdowns by Russell White and a touchdown pass from Pulaski to Sean Dawkins, and that is the difference. Now let's go to our studios where Rick Garcia is ready to bring you all the scores and highlights on College Football Today's Halftime Report. I'll tell you what, it is not nearly as wide a margin as one might think, particularly when you look at yards passing.
Well, it isn't. And the yards rushing really are very equal, which is somewhat surprising. It looks like, it seems like anyway, that Cal has ground out more yards, and the passing yards, true, don't appear to be like that, although we do recognize Arizona State's had big problems with the ball in the air, but big numbers there. More importantly, while the time of possession means one thing, it's the score that's the final factor.
Well, total yards, Cal has just about doubled the yardage on the Sun Devils of Arizona State. And now as the sun begins to set here in Tempe, Arizona State will kick it away, and it will be Mike Ritchie. Correction, it is Steve Roush who will kick it away. Roush, number 17, in fact, deep to receive. It is Russell White and Sean Dawkins. White with 2 touchdowns. Dawkins has the other. It is caught by the up man at the 22-yard line. Out across the 40 near the 45 and down at the 49. Wow, Remington taking that football, and he is down by Darrell Banks. Ryan Remington's an inside linebacker, and boy, he'll tell you what, he took off like a fullback.
Yeah, I was going to say he probably is a former fullback, but watch it open up in the middle here. He actually splits on the seam of all of the people coming down in the lanes and gets into that secondary. He's got the ball at midfield for him.
Ryan Remington, a 6'2 freshman, listed behind Bill Ayre, an inside linebacker. Now on 1st and 10, there is Anthony Wallace, and he is hit at the line by David Dixon. Through the first half, boy, take a look at that. 16 of 20. He completed his last 10 in a row. 174 yards and a couple of touchdown pitches. 1 to Dawkins, 1 to Russell White.
And that's the big key, that no interceptions for turnovers.
Wide to the left is Brian Treggs. In the slot is Anthony Randolph. Pulaski, short drop. It is Treggs with the football, and he is covered instantly by Kevin Preston Curvey. Well, what a game Preston Curvey had last week, number 38 for Arizona State. 2 blocked punts against Washington.
Well, look at that, 4 or 5 steps downfield by Treggs. Now watch on the hitch as he quickly tries to get to the outside, but Preston Curvey anticipating it, and he got to the outside. It's a foot race to the end zone.
Now 3rd in short yardage, double tight end. It is given to the fullback, Greg Somalt. He's got the first down and more at the Sun Devil 36 before Nathan LeDuc brings him down. Well, when I think of Nathan LeDuc, I think of last year. 3 interceptions against a pretty fair quarterback by the name of Andre Ware.
Well, he is, as a lot of people recognize, and Larry Marmee, one of his biggest champions, a premier defensive back in this country, and probably will receive some awards before the year is over, when it's over.
First down, Cal. Wallace, Somalt are the running backs. That is Somalt in motion. Wallace has the football. He turns the corner at the 35. Inside the 25. He may go. He loses the football, and it goes out of bounds, I believe, at the 1-yard line. Hold everything. Felipe Sparks ran him out, but I think Wallace simply lost the handle.
He did. It just just squirted right out of his arm. He was so intent on trying to beat him to the corner, he forgot a little bit about the ball. We're across the field from it. But I'll tell you, that was an excellent run. He picked his way well through there and then tried to bolt to the corner.
You talk about downfield blocking, Don. Ernie Rogers and Greg Zumwalt are the guys that sprung Anthony Wallace.
Well, Bruce Snyder said from the beginning he would not take this offensive line, the veteran offensive line that it is, for any in the conference. And the last several games, they have certainly shown that they're getting that together.
There's a fumble by the offense.
Now the officials are going to try and sort it out. They're going to talk it over again.
They're at the 5-yard line. I don't know. If anything, it would appear that it ought to be down around the 1-yard line where it popped out.
Now, Arizona State's happy about something.
Fumble, ruled, out of bounds in the end zone. They'll go back to the point of fumble, Arizona State's ball.
Oh, wait a minute.
On the play.
They ought to reach for the rule book.
Wait a minute.
Flip a coin, guys. Oh, is that awful.
You be the judge here.
Look at that blocking up front, though. Boy, that is really... And look at the running. How he cuts back initially and then breaks that tackle. Now he's trying to get to the end zone or run for the corner. Well, that ball does not look to me to be outside of the goal line stanchion there. We'll see if we can get this angle. And where's the official that made the call? Is he standing right there on the goal line?
Now they're going to give Arizona State the ball at the 1-yard line.
Why would they give it to him at the 1? I mean, isn't it your ball, possession-wise, when it goes out of bounds until the other team recovers it?
Now they're ruling the ball was fumbled into the end zone. The give is to Leonard Russell, who is back in the ball game after suffering a strained back in the last couple of minutes of the first half.
Well, as far as the officials giving us a good interpretation, the last team with possession was Cal. It should be their football at the end. Now, they're going to turn it over to him, say that it went into the end zone. I don't know. I've got to question that one. That's number one. There isn't anybody on the goal line to make that decision. Secondly, it just shows me once again the mistakes that officials make, which is consistent.
Double tight end formation for Arizona State. Play action. Powers to the near side, in and out of the arms of Kelvin Fisher. And whoa, did he take a shot?
Yeah, but blame the quarterback for that one, Perry Klein, as he put the ball high and behind him so that he was off balance. It's not an easy pass to throw because you're running directly away and there's a small area to throw the football. Puts the ball on the hip, little bootleg type action. Now watch where the ball is, high and behind him. That's the toughest place to catch that football. That, frankly, is a late hit right there, and there should have been a flag called. But once again, the official blew it. Another example of incompetence, like a 5-downer a week ago.
3rd down and 9. The ball at the 2 for Arizona State. The pitch goes to the far side. That's Russell. He tries to turn the corner, and out of bounds. He goes at the 4, and David Wilson chases him out. That'll stop the clock as the ball goes out of bounds. 12:42 to play in the 3rd period, and Arizona State unable to take advantage of what has to be a questionable call. Boy, Larry Marmie not happy at all with the lack of offensive production from either Brett Powers or Kurt Lasher, his quarterbacks. And now to kick it away.
He'd like to have that quarterback there.
Here's Brad Williams to let it go. Almost blocked. Good punt. Trex will take it at the midfield stripe. He'll have a return. Tries to find a crease and can't do it as he is smashed. Drew Metcalf on the tackle. Cal will have the ball with great field position at the Arizona State 45. To play in the 3rd quarter. California 21, Arizona State 3. The Golden Bears have the football now at the Sun Devil 45-yard line where it is 1st and 10.
Well, the Bear defense did an excellent job of holding Arizona State in there so that they do get a run at them with good field position again.
Brian Trex wide to the left. Sean Dawkins wide to the right. Molosky wants to put it up. There's the screen forming. Zumwalt, the fullback. He's got a blocker out in front, makes the turn, and is down at the 39. Terrific block by Troy Ozzie. Brett Quentin Wallace had finally made the tackle. Bozine doesn't get the block down on the screen. Zumwalt is stopped for no gain.
A couple of times on screens today, the back's a little bit anxious to outrun the blocking. You got to be really, patient and let the blocking set up for you. Had he broken behind that, he'd have picked up even more yards.
Here comes Wallace again. Big hold at the 30-yard line, and is he cut down at the 27. Terrific hit by Michael Williams.
Was it?
And Wallace may not get up.
Excellent blocking, too. Look at the center, 56 block back, 64, and the tackle outside of that come across on the trap, and then he just breaks behind it, is into that secondary before the linebackers know where he is, and then, of course, takes the hit and is got the wind knocked out of him, it looks like, for the moment. That's great execution by that offensive line. At the beginning of this football game, we talked on the fact that the offensive line has really been such an important consideration. And, of course, there comes Anthony Wallace off the field and appears to be okay, just got stung. But that offensive line is really maturing for this Cal football team in these last several ball games.
California with the football as Wallace comes out. It is 1st and 10. The ball is now at the 27-yard line. This is a big defensive series for the Sun Devils. Pulaski throws, and it is almost intercepted. Felipe Sparks almost the receiver on that, as the pass was intended for Sean Dawkins. It appeared as if Pulaski was expecting Dawkins to go for the flag rather than the post.
Yeah, there was a definite miscommunication at that stage. Pulaski only 4 interceptions on the season, but he dodged a bullet like you're saying there. Dawkins, it looked like Pulaski looking for him to go to the flag or the corner, and Dawkins was running a quick post to the inside.
2nd down and 10 now from the 27. 11:39 to play, 3rd period. California 21, Arizona State 3. Pulaski has had all the time he has needed today. Now tries to make the turn, does so, and goes out of bounds at the 27. Great pursuit by Brian Hooks, who went out in the 2nd period as he just got smashed on a block. Hooks is back, as is Leonard Russell, so that's certainly good news for Arizona State fans. And we have now a justification for that call a few moments ago on the fumbled ball that went into the end zone and given to Arizona State. Fumbled into the end zone from the 1-yard line. Possession from the point of the fumble to the defensive team.
Well, actually, he started fumbling it out there, and the first thing he said that it went out of bounds before it got into the end zone. So I think they're reaching just a little bit on that one. It's covering themselves. That's an interesting series. They've thrown the ball 3 times here after they've been running so successfully with the football. You got to kind of wonder why the major change-up, and when you're doing something that's working well for you, and then you go 3 quick passes and out, or at least just pop the field goal, but you're grinding them pretty good on the ground.
Pulaski's pass blocked at the line of scrimmage, at least deflected by Shante Carver, and now coming on to attempt what will be a 43-yard field goal is Robbie Keane. He is only 2 of 6 on the year. His longest is 25 yards.
These guys are pretty good at blocking kicks.
This one, boy, does it have the distance. Is it on line? Oh, yes, it is. He missed a 42-yarder last week against San Jose State, but today he is on the money, and the Bears of California are doing it all. With 11:25 to play in quarter number 3, it's Cal 24, Arizona State 3. As Larry Marmee continues to see his fortunes sink into the West today.
Well, you know what they are doing on both sides of the football with their offense and their defense is they're playing hard, but they can't make anything happen. They aren't making any big plays. They're getting beat for 7- and 8-yard runs and occasionally a bigger run. The passing hasn't hurt them too bad.
Well, next Saturday, the Pac-10 game of the week will come to you from Eugene, Oregon, as the University of Oregon's Ducks host these Arizona State Sun Devils. And we'll be looking at that man, Bill Musgrave, the #1 passer in the Pac-10. That's next Saturday evening, live at 7 p.m. Pacific time. The Ducks and the Devils, the Pac-10 game of the week, right here on Prime Network.
Yes, and that man was #2 to this quarterback, Paul Justin, that is not playing today, a year ago in the conference passing race.
Now here comes Robbie Keane. he lets it go. Felipe Sparks, 3 yards deep. He's going to bring it out. It's turned around at 23, near the 24. And you say to yourself, Don, well, why take a ball 3 or 4 yards deep in the end zone and bring it out? I think in Arizona State's situation, probably a wise move because the offense has simply not done a thing today.
I said that the last time he brought it out, and he actually brought it out pretty good, quite frankly. And I think you're right. He's trying to make something happen. I don't know that the special teams coach necessarily would say, hey, take the chance, because the percentages are tough to do.
Brett Powers, the redshirt freshman from Glendale, Arizona, 1 of 6 on the afternoon for 11 yards. That has been it. Powers, 7-step drop, looks to the near side, now being chased, throws. The ball is caught by Russell. And he is spun down at the 32-yard line.
I've got the crowd's attention.
Well, Brett Powers was smashed the moment he let go of the football, and he jumped right back to his feet.
Well, what they wanted was a screen out there to the left side, and now watch him come to the left right here. He's looking for the screen, but you see 57 right there in the picture. That's Red Hall, as well as a linebacker was out there playing the screen, so he didn't have anybody to throw it to. Then he adjusted, and of course, look at Russell for 238 pounds. That's pretty good movement.
Keep in mind, Leonard Russell has a strained back. Be certain he is playing in pain. He's got the football through the right side. Big hole across the 45, down at the 46 by the left corner, David Wilson.
If he's in pain, you wouldn't know it. It looks like he's putting some pain on. Big hole up front, good cutback on his part, and a nice tackle, because if that isn't made, it's a good chance he's going to go a lot further, possibly to the goal line.
Boy, Russell thus far this afternoon, 16 carries for 111 yards, and that is tops in his Sun Devil playbook. 10-12 to play, third period. Arizona State needs a touchdown. Play action. Powers looking this side, throws. It is almost caught by Gulliver. John Hardy with the coverage. But Powers has been consistently high since he came on in relief of Kurt Lasher.
So you know what we don't understand or know is not being down on that field, whether there are people in his face, despite the fact that he's 6'6", they may be forcing him to throw over the top of them so that the trajectory is a little bit high, or he may just be a little bit off, quite frankly. A little nervous.
Second down and 10 now from the 47. From the I formation, the tailback is Russell. Play action. Powers. There's the screen. It is intercepted by Dixon.
What a lineman's dream, huh? Joel Dixon was playing the spy part, no pass rush. They wanted the screen over there. He sat out in it, read the offensive lineman perfectly, and Brett Powers laid it into it nicely. Okay, little hand fake there. Good upfield look. Joel Dixon plays off the block, falls off. He says, yeah, come to me, baby. Lays it right in his hands, turns upfield, runs into his own man. Says, whoa, that's far enough. I'm tired. It's hard carrying that football. I'd rather rush it. He can play either linebacker, defensive back.
I'll tell you, he's built for comfort, not for speed. Right there. I'm talking about Joel Dixon.
Big play.
9:53 to play here in the third period. That is Anthony Wallace as he carries into the ASU 35 before Scott Woodford puts an end to it.
There's Joel. He said, yeah, put another one over in my direction. I'll show you some hands. You know, that's another thing. Quite frankly, Bruce Snyder, every Friday night, after they go through all their special teams, he has different little games for all of the players, linemen, linebackers, and it's either relay races with the football or throwing the football, so they kind of get a little feel of play, maybe kicking the ball. So they get a chance to put their hands on it down there.
Anthony Randolph wide to the right. Only man out there is Felipe Sparks. Pulaski looking left, throws, and had nobody as Triggs was taking it downfield.
Pulaski knew where he was and threw it over the top. Triggs was down the sideline for 6 points. Pulaski threw it like he was looking for the hitch, and Triggs took it upfield. The corner left him, and he had an easy 6-pointer if Pulaski and he were on the same wavelength.
Third down now, and 7 at the 35-yard line. When we began today, it was 98 degrees on the playing field. As the sun begins
just beyond my comprehension. Wide receivers can't take one more step. You see him come out there. He's in good position, but he doesn't go quite far enough. That's kind of something you learn right from day one. Mike Caldwell, second leading receiver, he should be aware of it. Going for it on fourth.
Domal and Tolles are the setbacks, and Arizona State jumps. I'm not sure who's jumping first. But now everybody wants to jump in.
They're all jumping on Mike Pulaski is where they're jumping. I think he sort of started to anticipate his count, did a good job of changing the rhythm of it, but then it looked like he almost pulled away a little bit.
Nobody did it better than Bob Griese at Purdue, and he continued it at Miami. Griese was the very best.
Well, you know, it can be effective if you use it right, and of course, as you can see there, Mike Pulaski and Larry Marmie not happy, Pulaski happy, signaling that we've got the first down.
Dead ball foul. Dead ball foul. Offside against the defense. 5-yard penalty. Be first down.
At the 25. I would think right here that they would go strictly to their ground game and really try and knock it in there at this point rather than starting to go to the air and changing up some things.
They got Treggs ISO'd on Preston Gervais wide to the left. Pulaski rolling near side, looking downfield, and it is incomplete. Brian Hooks knocked it down. Pass intended for the fullback. Greg Somo never had a chance.
Yeah, and Brent Woodall, the tight end, was going from left to right and was absolutely wide open. No one is there. There's the play fake on the bootleg, throws it short, and of course just swatted away. That big hand comes up there and knocks it down. He says, ha ha, got even with you that time. He looked upfield, he wouldn't have got even because Woodall had big yards.
Second down in 10. It is cut at the 10-yard line and down at the 9. It is Anthony Randolph, and Felipe Sparks, who has been awfully busy from his left corner position, is the only guy between Randolph and a touchdown.
You know, it's a little deceiving from here or even in the stands. Pulaski's throw right there. There's a lot of velocity on that football. It gets there so quickly that who's ever trying to close on Randolph, number 24, that caught the ball, can't get there. The ball is just zip. It's got that good, quick release to get to him.
First and goal, California from the 9. Somo has got it, and he moves the ball to the 4-yard line behind before Shante Carver tackles him. Now the one thing that head coach Larry Marmie at Arizona State mentioned to us yesterday is they felt they had to stop California's run to be effective. They have not been able to do it.
How about coming right at you and you're the ball carrier? You think that's a hole to run through? That's one of the safeties back here coming up to make the play. That is a big hole, folks. Brett Wallerstedt was number 44.
Second and goal. The ball at the 4. Watch number 4 on your left. He's got the football. Russell White, his third touchdown of the day. What a block by Ernie Rogers, the right tackle, number 68.
Boy, was it ever. And I believe that's Russell White's, what, 10th touchdown of the season thus far this year? 8 running and 2 receiving, 2 on the ground today, his second reception for a touchdown. So he does have 10. Once again, you see that little sidestep. See the people pulling it. Look at that kick out by 68. Boy, that is beautiful offensive line blocking right there.
Rogers just put a haymaker on Brett Wallerstedt that allowed Russell White time to get in, and he with the point after, and that'll stop the clock with 7:44 to play in the third period. It's the Bears 31, the Sun Devils 3. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week. Are roaring here at Arizona State. Now to kick it away, it is Robbie Keane. And back deep for Arizona State, Felipe Sparks and Kevin Galbraith, number 34. And it'll be Sparks. About 6 yards deep, but he'll go down on a knee. And here comes Brett Powers for Arizona State. Well, for both Powers and Kurt Lasher, it has been a tough afternoon. There's the scoring summary for California. Russell White, a 4-yard touchdown run, his 3rd touchdown of the day. It took him 2:10 to go 38 yards. And they're beginning to file out of Sun Devil Stadium already. Stadium that seats close to 75,000 on this warm afternoon when we began had in excess of 55,000 here, but markedly shy of that number now as Arizona State is being lassoed. That is Leonard Russell out across the 28. You know, Don Heinrich, I talked about the quarterback ineffectiveness. You played quarterback. What must be going through the minds of these two youngsters, both Kurt Lasher and Brett Powers?
Well, I can tell you right off the reel, they're extremely discouraged with their own individual efforts. Now, it isn't a one-man gang that's got to make it happen, but they certainly expect more of themselves and what they've performed here. And, of course, Larry Marmee said they need production out of that quarterback position, or they're going to be in trouble. And right now, they're in trouble.
Again from the eye, the Sun Devils. That's Russell as he tries to run it up behind Tim Kirby and Mark Hayes, and Joel Dixon, who has the only California interception of the day, who makes the stop. Well, Joel Dixon has played an exceptional game this afternoon.
But, you know, they expected big things out of Joel at the start of the season, as you know, and I think you made mention of his missing the better part of last year, but he did not really come to the front. It's like he was a little bit rusty, but the last few games he's improved significantly, and you can see the impact he's having.
Fisher is the up back. The pitch goes to Russell as they try student body right, and there's not much there.
Dixon just missed it. Joel got a hand on him.
Kevin Snyder really got bent over as he was out trying to get a lead block on somebody, and Snyder's going to trot off the field limping. He got a leg tied up with somebody.
But when you come in there to block and everybody's pursuing in that way, a lot of times you take more flag and more hits than the ball carrier because everybody runs over you like a big stampede coming over the top.
Russell, Fisher, right behind quarterback Brett Powers. Play action. Powers, chase, steps up, now lets it go wide open. That's the tight end, Ryan McReynolds, if he could go. John Hardy, the left corner, finally came over to push McReynolds out. And Don, I don't have to tell any of our viewers, somebody blew a coverage.
Without question, you'll see the play action fake going that way. He really wants to throw this way, but 99, Joel Dixon once again does too good a job. He flushes him back to his right, where he manages to pick up McReynolds. How could you not at 6'7", 254? And of course, John Hardy says, I'm shoving that big boy out of bounds. I'm not going to take him on.
Ryan McReynolds, a 43-yard gain. Biggest play for Arizona State today. It comes with 5:58 to go in the 3rd period. There's the draw. It's Fisher. He's inside the 13 and put down at the 11, and I think he fumbled the football, but they're going to rule him down. David Wilson knocked him off his peg. And we've got somebody injured. It is Eric Gilford. Now Eric Gilford. 18 receptions on the year. He had none last week at all. And he does not have a catch yet today. He is one of Arizona State's impact players who really has had no impact today.
Well, you know, when things are going bad for you, as they have been on the, it's not like I see him get caught underneath there. And you always hate to see that with a leg situation as they carry him off. Gulliford, not a catch last week against the Huskies, and there you see the leg coming up. Well, you'll catch it here in right there.
Fisher
as
falls
Fisher
on it, right
falls
there.
on it and takes it underneath him, and that's where you see an awful lot of injuries come from. But you mentioned no catches today, no catches last week against the Huskies. The 2 previous games against Missouri and Colorado State, he had 7 and 9, respectively. So he is a big numbers guy that today has been shut down for the 2nd straight week, and now finishing off here with the leg injury. We hope it won't be too serious.
The way he was hit by teammate Kelvin Fisher, it does not look encouraging. Powers throws, and is almost fouled. out of the hands of Ryan McReynolds. Terrific coverage by Darryl Brown, who was pressed into service today because Ray Sanders hurt last week against San Jose State, but Brown himself sprained a knee in practice on Thursday.
Like I said, when things go bad, they go from bad to worse. Oregon State didn't know it. They came from behind for a nice victory over Arizona today.
Russell. Touchdown, Arizona State.
Castle Redmond hurt down on the field, too. Premier linebacker for Cal. Number of missed tackles there. That gives you an example of how strong Leonard Russell is when he runs with that football. Broke a bunch of them.
Leonard Russell stopped at the line of scrimmage, hit again about the 9. Watch this. Stop there.
Look at the balance.
Down there, absolutely.
Look at the balance. Trying to grab and hold on.
Only Russell's second rushing touchdown on the year. Redmond is being helped up. There is one happy young man, junior out of Long Beach, California. Boy, Redmond, there's a guy you can't say enough about Castle Redmond. Playing with not one but 2 gimpy knees, has had surgery on both. I'll tell you what, if you can play on guts alone, there's a player that does it.
He really does, and he's going to be missed. That does not look good, even though, you know, he should conceivably make it back for next week. You know he's going to be hurt a bit. Can't use those feet, knees, not as active.
Here is Brad Williams as he lets it go. Is perfect. And that'll stop the clock with 5:20 to play here in the third period with the Bears of California over the Sun Devils 31-10. 5:20 to play, third period. California over the Sun Devils of Arizona State 31-10.
It's a long third quarter, I'd say, Phil.
Still 5:20 left.
Probably feels that way to both defensive units down there, too.
Short kick. At the 12-yard line, it is White. He's out across the 28 near the 29. Boy, what a kickoff he had in game 2 of this 1990 season. A 99-yard return against Miami. There you see Eric Gullivert being wheeled off the field. Arizona State, oh my.
Yeah, but it looks like they've wrapped his ankle, not his knee, as you can see there, the right ankle. Now, certainly you don't want to lose it, but far better it be an ankle than a knee.
Pulaski remains at quarterback for California. Perry Klein is warming up. Tyson Tolles is the fullback. The give is to Anthony Wallace as he is across the 33 out near the 34. Well, let's pause 10 seconds to let our affiliates identify themselves. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week.
You're watching Prime Network.
Twilight over the desert here in Tempe, Arizona. Bill Stone along with Don Heinrich and Randy Hall. 4:42 to play in the third. Pulaski. They come to the near side. It is Anthony Wallace. Waits for the interference to set up and is pounded at the 41 by Adam Brass.
Nice job on the screens for the most part. That time he ran behind that blocking much better, not wanting to get too anxious and get ahead of it. Screens, one of the more difficult plays to put together on a timing basis and to execute. And Cal is doing it really quite well. They've got good mileage out of it this afternoon here.
First and 10, California at the 41. It is Wallace. And boy, the safety blitz worked to perfection. That was Drew Metcalf, who came from his right outside linebacker's position, but Nathan LeDuc was also flying through.
And had they missed, he had a lot of running room behind him because there's nobody in a pursuit area. See that little crack, but unfortunately for him, good defensive play. So Arizona State guessing right on that one.
Now second down and 10. That is Semien in motion. It is Wallace with the football as he runs runs it through the left side. And he is tackled by Williams and Nathan Ledoux.
Boy, and you know what you really like to see as a coach or a running back, 56 right there, out in front of him, throwing a block. That's Steve Gordon, the center, in front of Anthony Wallace. And when you get linemen downfield hustling and flying around, and they can smell it, they want to run that ball. They'll give you all the help they can.
The fullback Greg Zumwalt hammering through for a couple. Let's go down to the sideline now. Randy Hall. Randy?
Thanks, Phil. Injuries seem to be contagious. Eric Gulliford, wide receiver for Arizona State, out for the game. It's a sprained ankle. In fact, you could see it swelling while I was down there. They put some ice on it. But again, he will not be back in this game. One more injury. It's unfortunate. Back to you.
3:07 to play, third period. Cal 31, Sun Devils 10. The Bears are on the move again. It is first down and 10. Play action. Pulaski looking downfield, and he is hit from behind and loses the football. And who has got it? The Bears pounce on it. Ernie Rogers, I think, covered it. Israel Stanley was the guy who pounded Mike Pulaski.
Well, Pulaski took entirely too long. You see him looking around. I mean, you see 1, 2, 3 receivers, and now he's going all the way back to the first receiver. You got to unload the football. You can't be that determined to just wait it out until a guy comes clear open. You got to anticipate a little bit. That's really his fault at this point.
Trip wide receivers to the left to give right up the middle. It is Russell White. He's out near the 49, and it'll be third down and about 13. David Dixon, the defensive tackle on the right side, brings him down. Interesting story on David Dixon, number 72. He's a junior, a transfer from Ricks Junior College in Rexburg, Idaho, and never played football until about a year and a half ago when he arrived in the United States from where else but New Zealand, rugby country. Say, if you're going to learn to play football and learn it by playing another sport, rugby's probably a pretty good one.
That's a tough sport, I'll tell you. Those guys all got broken noses and cuts over their eyes.
Pulaski pressured again, steps up, now throws. It is caught. It is White out of the backfield, and he is lassoed at the 37-yard line by Michael Williams.
It may be a first down, depending on the spot. He was looking at third and extremely long, almost 15.
As if he got the first down by about half the length of the football, but they're going to stop the clocks and measure.
Good adjustment by Pulaski to step up inside and spot White and dump the football. That's one of those that you throw it 5 yards and you get credit for a 15 or 20-yard gain. That's what you like, those running backs that can make things happen after you hit them with those little short ones.
So Cal has a pair, as we chronicled at the outset of our telecast. Anthony Wallace and Russell White in their last 3 games both have averaged over 100 yards a game.
And Brian Traig's not really as much of the offense as he has been in the past. Was first down.
Triggs goes wide to the left to give right up the gut. It is Anthony Wallace as he hammers it to the 23-yard line of Arizona State. Nathan Leduc on the stop. I'll tell you, Marmie told us yesterday if they didn't get production from their quarterback, they would be in for a long afternoon. That is exactly what has happened to his Sun Devils today. Contrastingly, for the Golden Bears of California, what a day for Mike Pulaski. 22 of 30, 232 yards and a pair of touchdowns. And his Bears are roaring.
Running.
It's Wallace again, getting at the line of scrimmage. His surge may carry him for maybe one. Terrence Johnson moves up to bring him down.
Russell White enters the ball game again.
Here's Wallace's numbers on the day. Boy, just take a look. He continues to excel. 22 carries today, 127 yards. And Bruce Snyder told me last night something very interesting. He said, hey, you know what? When I began to start calling more of the plays for Wallace and White, we began to win.
Oh, really? Well, that blocking helps, too, but you're absolutely right. They made the change there.
Uh-oh, the touchdown! Nathan Leduc!
Well, that was totally the fault of Mike Pulaski. Threw it into 3 or 4 defenders, and a flag looks like is down. Back around the 23-yard line, 28-yard line.
There's no question the interception will stand. Maybe but the interception will definitely stand.
That was really a poor choice, but there's a guy that can make you look like things are poor choices with his play. But in Pulaski's case, he without question should not have thrown that ball out there. It was a floater into a crowd. Holding on Arizona, on Cal. So there's still a lot of time in this football game, despite the fact that it's 31-10, 13 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Cal should not soften up. They're running the ball well. They put it up, they get in trouble. There's an example. See that ball laid up there? Look, all those jerseys around it. 1, 2, 3, and there's a fourth one on the left side.
Against the defensive team, the penalty's marked from the end of the run is first down.
And this is a big penalty. It is holding against California. And on this particular situation, the penalty is marked off from the point of the infraction. So there is another 10 yards for Arizona State. It'll be first and 10 now at the Cal 42.
Cal better stiffen up. Their defense a little soft the last series around, and here they're going to be tested again. Reverse pass.
It is Derek Hart as he unloads. Look out! It is dropped at the goal line.
Are you lucky or what over there? Woo. I mean, a reverse pass. John Hardy, the corner. Now, if they're in a zone and he rolls up, it's not his responsibility. It would then be the safeties. We'll get another peek at it there as they stop. Nicely thrown football, quite frankly. You see Hardy trying to recover. Behind that is Darrell Brown, the free safety. If they're in a zone over there, which it appeared to be, they got lulled to sleep, and that's what I'm talking about. You might think that a game is out of reach. Doesn't take much. A turnover like this can ignite them in a full quarter to go.
Now, Derek Hart threw one of those last year, and I believe it was during a spring game last spring when he threw one to Kevin Snyder that covered about 45 yards. That should be no surprise. Derek Hart was an option high school quarterback at Schlegel High School in Kansas City, Kansas, and I think he was shocked when he came here to Arizona State and initially found out that he's not going to play quarterback here. He's going to play split end.
Yeah, well, he was really a runner, and he has tremendous speed, but he really didn't have a particularly good arm. You wouldn't recognize it by that last throw. It certainly wasn't his fault as you catch a score there, and there's another one. Major upset. Those #1 teams in the country, bad position to be in. They keep getting knocked over. Virginia, big win for them. Miami once again. Dennis Erickson, the old Washington State Cougar. And down in Texas, Oklahoma gets knocked over. And some people say they were the second best team. And look at that score over Vanderbilt. Nebraska on a continuous roll. Bob Stoll, the head coach of Missouri. A couple nice victories this year, but got blasted. And there's the last one coming up on Illinois, taking it to Fred Akers at Purdue. John Makovic has got it together. Took on Ohio State a week ago. This week, Purdue.
Second down and 10 now from the 42-yard line. Arizona State trying to get on the board once more. There's to give a little inside handoff to Fisher. He turns the corner at the 40, pounds his way into the 38 before Ron English grabs him around the shoulder pads and says that's enough. So that's it. 3 quarters of play are in the books. 3 down and 1 up. We'll be back with the 4th period of play in a moment. Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. California over Arizona State, 31-10. The quarter notes are brought to you by Great Western's family of companies, $40 billion strong.
Well, you can see that White gets his 3rd touchdown, now 10 on the season. ASU rushing-wise, well, there it is, September the 15th. The tailbacks today, both of them well over 100 yards apiece. And I'll tell you what, they are outstanding young football players. But right now, Arizona State is starting to threaten again. They've got a little bit of a lift.
Let's go down to Randy Hall on the sideline. Randy?
Hello there. We're tired of talking about about football, right? So it's time to talk about basketball. And who better to talk about basketball, too, than KJ? I was going to ask you about mixed loyalties, but the T-shirt kind of says it all.
Definitely. I love Arizona, and I like ASU, but I can't root for them against my alma mater. So Cal right now, we're romping them, and I'm excited.
Okay. Thanks a lot for joining us. Good luck this season. 186 points the other night, 20 of them yours. Good talking to you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thanks. Back to you.
Now you know Lou misses Kevin Johnson at Cal, to be sure. Pass over the middle, almost picked off. Boy, it has been a bleak afternoon and evening for both Brett Powers and Curt Lasher of Arizona State. Good coverage by Eric Zomo.
Yes, and pressure by Cornell Collier. They're in 4-down territory. They've got to go at this stage and with the score such as it is. But I was wondering about Cal starting to blitz. They've got to go after Brett Powers. He's a freshman. He's not used to dealing with that kind of pressure. They did get pressure on him in that instance, even though they didn't get him down.
Kevin Snyder and Eric Moss go wide to the left on 4th down and 6 from the 38. Powers at plenty of time. Now throws, got a receiver and overthrows him. Pass intended for Kevin Snyder. He had his legs cut out from under him by John Hardy. Oh, what a hit. I'll tell you, that's got to be a cornerback's delight when he sees a receiver sky for a ball.
Yeah, well, it was a delay underneath. He let the other receivers clear it out for him. He'll go slow underneath. Watch his little happy feet kind of move around there as he feels that pressure. But now watch him start to come underneath. See the other people behind him? He's got to go high, and the defensive back says, yeah, this is a free one for me. That ball stays up in the air. It's picked for a touchdown.
California on downs takes the football. Now at the 38-yard line, it is 1st and 10 with 4:49 to play. Orlowski remains in the ballgame at quarterback. There's the 3-step drop. It is picked off. Intercepted by Kevin Christian Gervais, his first interception of the year. So with 14:49 to play in this ball game, big turnover, and Arizona State has got to love it.
Well, once again, a little too long letting the ball get to Treggs. They've run that too many times. They've gone to the well on that hitch, and they give Arizona State a nice life here. They're running the football extremely well. I don't understand why they want to put it in the air. Why not get some minutes off that clock?
Orlowski, his last 2 passes now have been intercepted. That's Russell. Stays on his feet and can't get much. Cornell Collier, first guy to him, drops him. Boy, Russell in the 3rd quarter alone, 7 carries, 45 yards, and Arizona State's lone touchdown.
Well, Cal, you know, on the turnover ratio, what you got to think about, if you want to be a solid football team, you've got to sustain as well as you can for 4 quarters. Now they've started struggling here on both sides of the football as they've gotten this good lead.
14:09 to play in the game. In motion, it is Eric Moss. Powers throws to the sideline. Did he get it? I believe so. It is Ryan McReynolds, the tight end. At the 24-yard line, it'll be 3rd down and 2.
Good job on the part of Powers to step away after the fake. You see up inside 57, that's Red Hall. Does a good job of spotting McReynolds on the sideline. McReynolds a good job of toe tapping it to stay in. From our angle, he looked in. We don't know what it was from that sideline. Awful close.
31-10, even 14 minutes to play. Now Arizona State from the eye. It is Moss wide to the right. Snyder wide left.
Change of play.
The give is to Russell. He has got the first down at the 19-yard line of Cal. Chris Cannon took him out, and now a flag is down long after the play ended, and I have a feeling it may be a personal foul against the Bears.
I think you're absolutely right, and the player involved is coming out of the football game. He may have been tossed. It looks to me like it's Eric Zomal.
I think you're right.
The defensive back that they've used as a linebacker, essentially, in place of Bill Ayre for pass rush purposes. It worked effectively against San Jose State, so they've used it again here this afternoon, but it looks like he, somewhere along the way, managed to alienate somebody.
Yeah, well,
the official to begin with.
Yeah, that's the only people you have to alienate. They're the only guys down there with whistles.
It'll be a lesson lesson for him. But on the other hand, like I said, they are giving Arizona State too much opportunity here. The consistency of Cal is breaking down.
Red ball, personal foul against the defense. In addition, ejection.
On the play, he was tossed.
Now, whatever he did, it had to be something of a very demonstrative nature to get ejected with 13:54 to play in this game. Arizona State now has it first and goal from the 9.
Tim Kirby, left guard's trying to incite the fans to yell and cheer for him.
Here comes Russell. Hits his way to the bare 3.
Well, Cal is not penetrating. They are standing at this point and catching. Earlier, despite giving up yards, they at least were aggressive. Now they're really kind of going through the motions. That's got to make, I'm sure, Coach Snyder not real happy.
Now the ball is across the plane, but I think they're going to say his knee went down just shy of the goal line. It looks like a touchdown from here. Yes, it is.
Oh, Power says it is, and now the official does underneath it. Fancy, just a little power play up the middle. Watch them move all those white jerseys back. They started at the 4. They drive them to the goal line. You see the ball underneath it. Great camera shot by the guys. Look at that. Right down on the goal line. It's across. It's 6 points.
One of the few times today that the Arizona State band has had a chance to fire up that fight song. And with the point after, it is there. Mike Ritchie is perfect on that point after, and that'll stop the clock with 13:07 to play on this ball game. It's Cal 31, the Sun Devils of ASU 17. You're watching the Pac-10 Game of the Week. To play, the Sun Devils have creeped back to within 2 touchdowns. They went 32 yards in 5 plays following the interception, and it was culminated by a 4-yard touchdown burst by Kelvin Fisher. And Steve Roush will let it go. Taken at the 5-yard line. It is Dawkins, and he is hammered at the 17.
Of course, nobody picked up the man covering on the outside, and one of the Cal players is hurt.
Gill with the pop. Tyson Tolles is down for California.
Gill came all the way from the outside, in man on the line, and came up in to where he was trying to approach the wedge and dropped him just short of the 20-yard line. And it was a short kick to begin with.
Now Greg Zomold has just trotted onto the field for California. I want to remind you, next Saturday, our Pac-10 Game of the Week will come to you from the friendly confines of Eugene, Oregon, as the Ducks play host to the Sun Devils of Arizona State. That's next Saturday evening live at 7 o'clock Pacific time. The Ducks and the Sun Devils, the Pac-10 Game of the Week right here on Prime Network.
It'll be a pretty good football game, despite the fact that Oregon, which was the #1 offensive team in the Pac-10 and the #2 defensive team, having lost to the Washington Huskies today, still have plenty of firepower available to them.
Tolles coming off the field under his own power. I'll tell you what, Washington can make a whole lot of schools look bad. You saw them dispose of Southern California in no uncertain fashion.
Yes, that defense is what is a big factor for them. Of course, Greg Lewis, the running back, is another major addition. A little excitement by the fans here, Bill.
Russell White's the tailback. He is explosive. He has the football. And he is Snyder does not want to have happen. You've got to stay in bounds when you've got a 2-touchdown lead, because every time you step out, it stops the clock.
And a little bit of a dangerous play when you're backed up with a pitch like that. I would say that most of their yards have come from tackle to tackle. And right now you can see a increased intensity by the defense of Arizona State.
Pawlowski, 22 of 32, 232 yards. And this time the give is to White 1-4, and he is pulled down by Shante Carver.
What we're seeing down on the field with Arizona State players, they're now starting to jump in the air and encourage one another and pat each other on the back. So they have renewed interest here with the score 31-17, a couple of quick touchdowns, turnovers that they created, and Cal losing their execution and intensity.
Boy, these Sun Devil faithfuls have really come to life here in the fourth period. White, he's got the first down out across the 30-yard line. Boy, that surge by Todd Stussy and Ernie Rogers made the difference.
It really did. That's the best surge they've made, I would say, in the last two exchanges of the football on drives that they've had. That offensive line moved them out. And look at Russell White. Last week, today.
I'll tell you, he was all world against San Jose State a week ago in that 35-34 victory. Today, it's not that he's played poorly. It's just that Anthony Wallace has carried most of the mail this afternoon and this evening.
Yes, indeed. Very effectively.
White. He was actually chopped down by his own left guard, James Richards.
Because the penetration of the defense knocked Richards off and got penetration. And there's Guilford back from the dressing room, wishing that he were back out there playing and not on crutches with what appears to be a sprained ankle.
It is now second down and a little more than 10. Pawlowski turns around, says something to Russell White. Uh-oh, busted play. And Pawlowski goes down. Whatever Pawlowski said, I don't think Russell White liked.
Well, he found out he got to keep the football. Maybe they'll communicate a little bit better. Right now, Cal losing its composure a little bit, quite frankly.
Clock running, 10:49 to play. Arizona State down by 2 touchdowns. Third down and a bundle. There is White. He got back about 10. It'll be now fourth down and 5, maybe 6.
That was just a kill play. Get what they can get a little better field position and try and kick it to the other end.
Now the Sun Devils of hell. And Robbie Keane is going to have to punt it away. Felipe Sparks is now back to receive. This is Cal's first punt of the second half.
Well, the Cal player's coming out a little bit wounded. Brent Woodall. I think it's an official's timeout.
And now Nathan LeDuc has gone back to receive this punt.
Well, you know, Arizona State has come close early in the football game on a few blocks. We may see him come after this one again.
They have 7 block kicks in their last 13 games. Look at all the maroon jerseys and watch the surge here. Good snap. Plenty of time to get it away. And LeDuc calls for a fair catch just about the time the ball hit Robbie Keane's toe. 9:58 remaining in this ball game. The Sun Devils have the football. They're only down by 2 touchdowns. 21-17, and while that seems to be an awfully wide margin, keep in mind Arizona State has begun to light it up here in the second half. Now the Sun Devils, I'm certain Don Heinrich will continue to do what they have done best here in the second half, and that is grind it out on the ground.
Well, they've been successful doing that, obviously, with Leonard Russell being a big factor in there. But when they have gone to the air, Cal has 2 options here. They is double covering the outside people or double zone from that standpoint, which leaves the middle open, and that's exactly where they went with the football. Brett Powers recognizing and reading it because it was a preset double zone out there, not hard to distinguish.
Second down and 8, the ball at the 28. Trip wide out to Arizona State. Here comes the reverse around the near side. It's Kelvin Fisher. Tries to turn the corner, and Cal knocks it down. It is John Hardy. Great lateral pursuit by Hardy from his left corner spot.
It was a nice job by Hardy getting there. And really putting them contained by the whole Cal defense, moving laterally to the ball.
Cal now puts their nickel package into the ball game.
They don't pick it up right here. Do you go for it on 4th down? You still got plenty of time. 9 minutes. Or do you kick away?
Arizona State only converted 3 of 13 third down situations today.
Change of play. Secondary moving around.
Powers now unloads and is almost intercepted.
Maybe a holding ball.
Victor Cahoon, the intended receiver. Ball never had a chance. Probably holding. I think you're right.
Yeah, John Hardy almost come up with it for Cal. Had that 100-yarder earlier this year in the opening game against Wisconsin.
Holding against the offense. The penalty is refused. 4th down.
Well, you're right, Bill. Looks like you're coaching over there. You got the right call. They're going to punt it.
Well, at least they're showing punt.
Yes.
You're Larry Marmee. You look at the scoreboard. You think of what's transpired this season. Maybe you fake it.
Well, he's a defensive guy, and he's always had great confidence in his defense, despite the fact that they've been hammered this year to some extent.
Brad Williams with time, and he lets it go. Boy, he gets another one.
Good job of kicking it away.
And they'll down it at the 15-yard line. So now they can force California into a turnover. They'll get the ball back. Plenty of time remaining. 8:48 to play. It's California 31, Arizona State 17. Let's go down to the sideline now, and Randy.
This game's a long way from being over, as you know, and this person, Sparky the Sun Devil, they're cheering for Sparky for 50 years of tradition. Not one of the interviews you look forward to. Sparky isn't allowed to speak, but Sparky, you're looking forward to doing some more push-ups. Sparky is a girl today and does push-ups for every point scored. More push-ups for you? And how much excitement is up there, Sparky? All right! And I'll tell you what, Phil, forget about Glenn Walker. I'll do push-ups if ASU scores again with Sparky. How about that?
We're going to keep that camera right on you, too. With 8:48 to play here in this ball game. Cal 31, Arizona State 17. That is Russell White as he tries to penetrate the right side, and David Tisdale says, A gain of 3. Most importantly, California would like to get a couple of first downs and keep the clock running.
Yeah, they need that just for a little bit of momentum for their offense, quite frankly. They're letting their defense spend too much time out there here in this second half of the football game. They got to give them a little longer break.
2nd and 6, they're calling it from the 19. That's Russell White again, and he does not get much. James Richards is handled at left guard, and the guy handling him is Shante Carver. Russell White, second time in this ball game, has run right into Richards, but the reason why, and Don, you chronicled it a few moments ago, is because Shante Carver and Tim Landers are simply shoving Richards right back into the interference.
Yeah, they're not getting any offensive thrust out of their line. They brought Mike Caldwell in, who usually goes into the slot, guy that you might keep your eye on as a potential receiver.
Third down and 6. It is Russell White. He has the first down out across the 26. Michael Williams finally tackles him.
Mike Pulaski changed the play at the line of scrimmage, you could see the adjustment in the running backs, and you could see the adjustment on on Coach Marvey's face that he wasn't happy to let him pick it up on the ground. But the running backs moved as he went to a running play to the short side of the field, and that was a very big first down for Cal at this point.
Clock running, 7:14, 7:13 to play.
They need about 3 of those to really kind of get themselves good, strong position.
Cern registering on the faces of each and every one of the Sun Devils. White, near side, struggles to get out across the 30 again. It is Michael Williams who brings him down. Well, a loss today would give Arizona its first 2 and 3 starts since way back in 1984. A victory for California would give the Golden Bears their best conference start since back in 1980 when they were 2-1 early. White again across the 30 and Lasso there at the 32. Terrence Johnson, the reserve linebacker who plays behind Scott Woodford on the depth chart, moves up to make the tackle.
He almost broke that ball. A little shoestring tackle at that point. He stays on his feet. He picks up about another 8 to 10 yards.
Well, next week, California is at home to take on the Bruins of UCLA. Then it's off to Husky Stadium in Seattle and then to Los Angeles to face Southern California. So this game tonight against Arizona State, Don, and next week at Memorial Stadium against UCLA. 2 real big games for the Bears.
They are indeed.
Pulaski pressure, throws, it is intercepted.
Well, Pulaski really is hurting his football team here in the second half. Receiver wide open. Last 3 passes have been intercepted. He threw it behind him again. He saw the blitz coming, changed the play, and watched the execution. I don't think a whole lot need be said on the blitz as to where that football's thrown. And there's a missed tackle. And he reverses field. And another missed tackle. And Arizona State's in scoring position.
On the 22. Russell. He's going to go.
Satisfaction. Watch the left side. There's the blocking. Watch the move to the outside. The first missed tackle. And then it's just into the end zone. So if you want to talk about giving a team a life as we get another peek at it, no fill, no execution in the way of the pursuit. Everybody just kind of standing around. Nothing fancy, and then he taunts him with the football by sticking it in his face. I think if I were on defense the next time around, they would crank it up pretty good to try and get after Arizona State at this stage rather than letting them back in the ballgame.
Don, at halftime, it was 21-3 California. Midway through the third period.
Non-contact against the offense. It's a touchdown. The penalty, we marched off on the kickoff.
That was the taunt.
You are looking at Mike Pulaski.
And you'll see the tail end stick the football out like that. You know, he came in from a junior college. I don't know, maybe they'd let him do that over there.
The point after is perfect. After trailing 31-3 midway through the third period, the Sun Devils have ignited. They have scored the last 3 touchdowns, and now it is Cal 31, Arizona State 24. 5:21 to play.
And you know, one thing you don't see, which I'm a little surprised at, I would suspect that individual coaches would get their groups together. They'd get the defensive unit together. They'd get the offensive unit together. Now, the kicking team, of course, is together, as they're going to talk about that a little bit, because conceivably we could get an onside kick. But the two units that are really falling down, specifically the offense, but the defense, on the other hand, is not helping their cause any. So you would think they'd want to rally a little bit. The coach give them a little talking to, say, hey, fellas, now look, we got to settle down. We got to get our composure back. Let's go at it just like it's a brand new ball game. Everybody execute. Do whatever your responsibility is, and the rest of it will take care of itself, rather than just kind of hunting and pecking out there and giving Arizona State these opportunities that they've capitalized on.
Now, one of the men who has really capitalized for Arizona State is Leonard Russell. In the first half, he carried the ball 13 times for 90 yards. In the second half, Russell 11 carries, another 78 yards, and a pair of touchdowns. There is the scoring by quarters. And just look at Arizona State. Cal scored the first 10 points in the third period, and since then, the Sun Devils have taken the football into the end zone 3 consecutive times, and they'll kick it away. Steve Roush from the 20-yard line will let it go. That's Russell White at the 18. Trying to buy the seam and does so out to the 34-yard line. He is hit and covered there by Monty Peck. Well, Don, if you're standing down there on the near sideline and part of that brain trust of California, what's the call? What have you just told Mike Pawlowski?
Well, first of all, I would tell him to step into the huddle and say, listen, I want you offensive linemen to listen. I don't want any mistakes. We're going to take it to them and get some first downs. Running backs, I'm going to look the ball right into your stomach, put your hands around it. I do not want any fumbles, and let's just play hard rock football for about 5 minutes.
Wallace following the surge of Rogers and Stussy, and Tim Landers, the nose guard, brings it down. And thus far, when you talk turnovers, Arizona State was 0-8 in their last 3 ball games. Today, take a look at what has transpired. They have taken the ball away 5 times and only given it away once by an interception.
Well, you can call it takeaways. It's almost gifts as far as Cal's offense here in the second half is concerned.
Wallace. Well, he turned a loss of about 5 into a gain of about 3 before David Dixon tackled him.
Yes, he did. He did a good job. Arizona State did a good job defensively of stringing it out, giving him nowhere to go. And then he broke it back up inside to pick up some very valuable yards as they're looking at a 3rd and 4. 4:10 to go.
If Arizona State holds here, this stadium will explode.
He didn't get it. I'm surprised that 2 of the 3 downs there, Pawlowski went on a quick count. Now, you know you're going to get some stunts and blitzes out of the defense. You would want your offensive people to be settled down, make sure they know who they're supposed to block so they can execute to the best of their abilities rather than coming out while people are moving. That was not really very smart football.
Robbie Keane to kick it away. Felipe Sparks, number 1 at his own 13-yard line. And Old Mo has changed here in the second half. Good punt.
Ooh, boomer.
Sparks at the 4. He is lassoed at the 20 and spun down there by David Wilson. So Arizona State, they are 81 yards away from possibly tying or maybe even winning this ball game.
Sure, because if they do score, they've got the option of going for the 2, and where they are in terms of needing a victory, chances are they would go for the 2. And Bruce Snyder on the sideline walks away, looks at the clock, and he says, oh, it's the longest second half I've been through.
I might concur with that.
You too, huh?
Strong. It is Fisher out across the 26 and knocked out of bounds there. Or was he? The officials are saying let the clock roll. He was not out of bounds. English and David Wilson combining on the tackle.
Cal's defense has spent an awful lot of time on the field, despite the fact that they're weary. They have really got to suck it up here. If they could go 3 downs, and it doesn't look good for them now because that was approximately a 7-yard gain. But they've got to crank up and really reach back just a little bit.
Leonard Russell, 176 yards today for Arizona State. And he has got the football again. Darrell Brown takes him out. A first down, and most importantly, with 2:22 to play, Don, the clock is stopped. Look at the numbers for Leonard Russell.
Is that the guy that was hurt earlier?
Went out with a strained back in the last 2 minutes of the first half. That yardage, the most by an ASU back since 1987.
Well, right here you see no force on the corner. You got to turn him inside. That dip right there, as far as Hardy is concerned, he's got to contain that, get him back inside where the pursuit is. They're just not executing on defense. They're playing far too soft.
First down, Sun Devils, 46. Powers, the pass sets up the screen. It is caught. It's Russell. He's out at the 44-yard line. Brett Hall on the stop.
Well, they played it well. They just didn't make the tackle. Good job by Joel Dixon trying to get in his face. Now you see several white jerseys out there, but look at that move right there to step back inside. One overruns it. The next one misses the tackle. He picks up about 11. They're going to measure. I think he's got it. If not, it'll be second inches. He got it. Half a football.
California, if you have just joined us, they had a 31-3 lead midway through the third period when Leonard Russell and the Sun Devils of Arizona State got the wake-up call. And with 7:44 to play, Arizona State began to play. Has since put 3 touchdowns on the board, and now the Sun Devils are within a touchdown with 1:55 remaining. Powers going long. It is almost caught by Derek Hart, but David Wilson saved the game-tying touchdown.
Boy, did he ever. That was excellent coverage. Once again, Cal not getting a lot of pressure on. You look here, 99 right there, Joel Dixon, but they give him a good passing lane. But look at the defensive play right here by David Wilson, just barely getting that hand in there. That is really a good job. The crowd behind a little unhappy. They think there should be an interference call, but not so. And it's really, they're tipping. Oops, now there's a penalty against Cal. Let's see what this is all about.
I think they are calling defensive pass interference.
Oh, no, I can't believe that one. He did call holding, but I mean, he was leaning into him and he was looking back, had a hand up. I'm going to say the officials have done what they can to help Arizona State here today.
First down, Powers with time, steps up, throws, got a receiver. It is caught at the 17-yard line. Kevin Snyder got it and was run out by David Wilson. The Sun Devils are on the move. Oh, what a comeback this would be.
put it up and get clever and go to an automatic and see a defense. They have 2 timeouts as far as Arizona State's concerned, and I'm sure we'll take them.
Well, Cal's going to call a timeout with 1:37 left in this ball game. The Bears by a touchdown. Whoa, what a second half this has been. 1-24, but next Saturday, if there's enough tape and crutches available, Arizona State will be, in fact, in Eugene, Oregon, to take on the Oregon Ducks. And boy, what an afternoon evening that should be. Game time, 7 p.m. Pacific time. And a task for that man right there, the head coach at Arizona State, Larry Marmie, is somehow, some way, get your team back up for yet another Pac-10 ball game.
This one isn't over.
That's Russell White.
Picked his way through there a little better on that one. And you know, the other thing that we might have found here, or Coach Marmie might have, is that Brett Powers, a backup quarterback, despite having lost that last ball, has really kind of ignited this football team until they can get Paul Justin back in, say, 2 more weeks, all things being equal, with that dislocated shoulder recovering on the left arm, fortunately not his passing arm.
Well, for California, they are just a minute and 24 seconds away, Don, from going 4-2. Do you realize the Bears have not won more than 5 games in a season since 1982?
Yeah, but part of that has been due to the fact that this is now Bruce Snyder's unit. His recruiting, not Joe Capps.
Well, the scoring began back in the first period. California got on the scoreboard. Sean Dawkins, a 10-yard touchdown catch from Pulaski. And then Russell White scored in the second period to make it 14-0. And then following Mike Ritchie's 29-yard field goal that made it 14-3, the Bears were back at it again, and the sophomore did it again. Russell White, his second score of the day, this time from 17 yards out. Robbie Keane, a 43-yard field goal in the third period, made it 24-3. Still third period. White, his third touchdown of the day, made it 31-3. And then look out, here came the Sun Devils. Leonard Russell, an 11-yard touchdown run. Kelvin Fisher, a 4-yard touchdown burst that made it 31-17. And then it was Russell again from 21 yards away to make it 31-24. And now, following the fumble by Brett Powers, California has the football and almost certainly their 4th win of the season. It is White once again out across the 40 with 119, 118, 117.
1 timeout left. That one just about did it because it's a first down now for Cal. And after this timeout, they will have no more. A couple of running plays, it's over with. You could really touch it down, frankly, with a touch by the quarterback.
Don, what a transformation of this California Golden Bear team. 3 weeks ago when we saw them at Arizona, they were coming into that ball game against the 16th ranked Wildcats with a record of 1-2. By their own admission, really defensively playing with little or no emotion. Since then, they have played like a contender, to be sure.
Yeah, and most of it on the basis of their running game becoming so effective. It's ignited everything else.
There goes Russell White once again for another 6.
The late shot, which was foolish on the part of Brent Woodall, the tight end, after the play. I mean, those kind of things are really dumb, and they make coaches most unhappy. Here they're running the game out. It means it stops the clock. You got to run another play. You'll see it after the fact. That's there's Bruce Snyder. Now watch from the right side of your screen. 31 will come in. You'll see that. Bang. I mean, that is totally ridiculous. You got to pull him out of the game, put in the guy behind him, and give him a little talking to.
And we talked at the outset of our telecast about the tailback tandem of California, Anthony Wallace and Russell White. They have been outstanding today. Wallace, 25 carries, 136 yards. Russell White, 21 carries for 86 yards.
Dead ball, personal foul, against the offense, 2nd down.
See, you know what's one of the subtleties of a situation like that? They could have run the clock out. This will cause them to take an extra down. So you know everybody's trying to tackle a football and jerk it away from them. So stranger things have happened.
Arizona State, I believe, wants their final timeout. Yes, they do.